take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail heroic. Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember the 50 waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
You come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. Here to make war, we surrender. Falsehood, important things are new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a seaport planet. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. That means you're going to make a profit.
Look, these 3 words written larger than the rest. With a special pride never written before. Or since tall word proudly saying, we the people.
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird O' Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Bird O' Prey 5, Qapla, and welcome to Sinema Sunday, or what's today? July 4th, the 4th of July, Independence Day. Wow, Sunday, Independence Day. And yeah, welcome Michael J. Crawford to the panel.
Good morning.
Welcome Resolute Germ to the panel. Qapla.
Good morning.
Good morning. It appears
noon now.
Yeah, it appears I forgot to put in Sinema Sunday setup because, as always, I leave everything to the last second.
Well, you were obviously napping.
Yeah. Auntie Trigger texted me. I was like, "You're gonna send a link?" And I'm thinking, "What?" I was like, "But I have at least." I was like, "Oh, 3 minutes." 3 minutes until. And again, I know there's a couple more people coming in the back room. I will be right there. I just have to, and I sent the messages, the Twitter and Minds, Facebook messages out so early. I was like, oh, I'm going to have so much time today. And of course, I effed that up. Welcome, Positive Candor, and Rockin' G. Bill? Well, Jedi Bill.
Yeah, I forgot to change that. I got a real bit inebriated in my stream earlier this morning.
Mr. Londell or Qapla, Mr. Londell?
Qapla.
Okay, so let me get the movie screen set up, which is usually done before you guys see all this. There we go. Captain America, the First Avenger, here on Sinema Sunday for the 4th of July, Independence Day, 2021. Now, I have not seen this movie since this movie came out on, DVD or whatever it did in 2011.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I liked it, but I never rewatched it because...
Yeah, nor have I. It's just...
Yeah, it's not very rewatchable. You get the base plot and nothing really
there were so many other MCU movies over the
what
years.
A bunch of jerks are in here.
I just never went back.
It got fucking buried in all of that other MCU stuff.
Yeah.
But last night I did watch the original Iron Man and got partly through Iron Man 2 before falling asleep.
Oh.
And this morning I watched about half of Thor before I fell asleep a second time. So I was doing some homework. All phase
Your
one
homework was
movies.
just falling asleep during movies,
Basically.
which means you'll be falling asleep during this movie.
No, this one I intend to stay fully awake for.
Yeah, you got the nap in early.
Exactly. I got a couple of naps in, actually.
Overall, I think this is probably the best of the Phase 1 Marvel movies. I just don't like that they reduced World War II to a montage.
You wanted a full-on World War II movie?
I guess I know that they had to rush it a bit to get him to be in the ice, so they wanted to start with his origin and end with him in the ice, but he fought through all of World War II.
What ice? What are you talking about, ice?
Oh, Bird, you'll see.
He crashes the plane.
Spoiler.
The plane crashes in the Antarctic or the Arctic.
Oh, right.
Did you actually watch the end of the movie?
He fell asleep the first time he saw it, and so there's ice involved in the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So, but they had to get it to there. But I think it would have been better if instead of doing Iron Man and Iron Man 2, if they actually had done a Captain America and Captain America 2 before the first Avengers film.
Hello, Commodore Ty. Welcome to the panel.
Hello.
I think that would have served it better if we had gotten two Captain America films, so that we could have established that it felt like he was a full-on World War II hero, rather than World War II happened and then the end.
And it gets him acclimated into this part of the 21st century.
Right.
Basically.
I don't know if I would have cut out Iron Man 2, but I certainly would have cut Iron Man 3. I know Iron Man 3 isn't a Phase 1 film, but...
Well, I didn't hate Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3 made a perfect point because it showed Tony suffering from the PTSD from the battle.
Yeah, I actually really liked Iron Man 3. I think Iron Man 2, I think that Iron Man 2 was probably the weakest of the Phase 1 films because it felt like the most unnecessary of the Phase 1 films. Because it was the only Phase 1 movie that didn't establish something.
Yeah.
Miranda Menace with a €2 super chat. Thank you so much, Miranda Menace.
I'll give you that. It did give us the Black Widow, but at the same time, then give us, how about this? Instead of waiting until, 2 years after she died, give us a freaking Black Widow movie.
Well, I agree that they waited too long to do it, but I am eagerly anticipating next week I get to finally watch it.
Yeah. But I just think,
you're probably the only one.
Come out. Are we
sure that they wanted to give us a Black Widow movie in the first place?
Well, my understanding is from some of the reviews I've seen is this Black Widow movie takes place after Avengers: Age of Ultron. So
I heard it takes place after Civil War.
Or Civil War. You're right.
Either way, it fits chronologically perfectly where freaking Captain Marvel was dropped. So,
I think
it just further illustrating that Captain Marvel was a huge, big, goddamn mistake.
But where else would they have dropped Captain Marvel then? If it was
never.
Not there?
Honestly,
dropped it when it was fucking ready.
I didn't hate Captain Marvel as much as everybody else, but my issue was not that they dropped Captain Marvel when they did. My issue is that Black Widow should have been made back after Civil War instead, or even in place of Iron Man 2. If they wanted to introduce Black Widow, they should have made a Black Widow film. And if they wanted to do Black Widow like as a undercover agent working at Stark, like in that storyline that they did in Iron Man 2, do that storyline, just do it all from Natasha's perspective so that Tony is just a secondary character. And you call it Black Widow, but you have Tony in it much like how he was a secondary character in the first Spider-Man film.
You know what they could have done is did a Hawkeye Black Widow movie instead of Iron Man 2.
Right.
Yeah.
We
I just want to acknowledge
more of a relationship between the two than it just being dropped in Avengers.
I just want to acknowledge Paula Simpson is in the chat. Paula,
Hello,
great.
Mrs.
Thank you for spending some time with
Hello.
us on Independence Day.
Hey, Paula.
We all miss the Admiral, and I'm glad you were able to come and chat with us. And you are, of course, welcome on the panel, Paula, if you wish. You don't have to, no pressure, but you always have that invite. Sorry, you guys were talking.
No,
movies.
That's all
I wanted
good.
to
You
bring
can
it
always
up.
interrupt us, right? It's your stream.
Yes, I know.
Right. But yeah, I think that the big misstep was, I think Iron Man 2 should have been a Black Widow film. I think they were timid about would a female-led superhero film would it be able to make the money. I think in retrospect it would have, but I think that the execs were just afraid.
Yeah, and Paula, if you want to come up,
I think they were
just
waiting
check
for
Facebook.
Yeah,
a bigger name female superhero to make a movie of before they test the
Captain
Black
Marvel.
Widow.
Nobody gave a crap about Captain Marvel. The only reason that movie made $1 billion is because it came after Infinity War.
Yeah.
And I mean, because they could have dropped Garbage Can, the movie, and it would have made $1 billion.
They could have dropped Howard the Duck.
Yeah. And so that was, I mean, unfortunately, like I said, I don't think the movie is as bad as some people say. I think Brie Larson is as bad as some people say.
Oh, yeah,
but I don't think that movie was that bad.
If you
I was gonna jokingly set up today with the picture for Captain America, but then play Captain Marvel.
Oh man,
instead.
That would have caused
you would have lost
Krogan
half your
revolution.
subscribers, I think. Man,
But man, I am definitely looking forward to the Black Widow movie because I've been wanting it since Iron Man 2.
The only thing I'm a little, I'm looking forward to the film for sure. I'm just some of the reviews I've seen. It sounds like it's a little more of a collaboration film than just a Black Widow movie. But I honestly, so far the MCU,
it's more a Red Room film than anything else.
Yeah, but so
Red
far
Room
the
is the Black
MCU
Widow
has not
as
put out a
movie,
bad
so
film.
I would, as long as they give us anything that we don't know yet about Black Widow, I'm fine. Like if it's a Red Room movie, it's a Red Room movie. Maybe because they know the character of Black Widow's dead. That's what the movie's about. Maybe is to introduce the Red Room as the next threat for these our Earthbound heroes, or introducing whoever's going to replace Natasha as Black Widow in the going forward. That's how I've always seen the movie.
How are you doing today?
I think that I'm going to be okay with it because that's what I'm expecting.
With handyman stuff, so I can enjoy myself for the rest of the day.
Very cool. I've got your microphone adjusted as loud as it will go. I know you're a little low, but
Is that better?
yes.
Yeah, that's much better.
I had to move it. It's that one on the arm.
Paula.
Sometimes I forget to move it close.
MJ Garrick commented, Howard the Duck in the final fight quacking would have been great. Which final fight in Endgame?
Well, he did show up in the final fight in Endgame, but
I never saw it. I didn't see
yeah,
it.
when they're all coming through the Doctor Strange portals, if you look carefully, he is in there holding a Guardians of the Galaxy gun.
So it's like almost like a gotta watch it at like half speed or quarter speed type thing, or you miss it.
He's well, you don't have to squint to see him, but but it's not like they don't zoom in on him or anything. But he's definitely there, and it's kind of funny because he's holding a big old gun ready for action.
Hey, Marvel's teased us with Howard the Duck now. Time to do a proper Howard the Duck movie.
He's appeared in 3 MCU films.
Yeah, do it, Marvel. Do it. You know you want to.
Okay.
That's how we're going to start Phase 5. Howard the Duck.
Let me go ahead and read some of the chats.
Oh, geez, this will be an hour now.
No. This way we're not waiting an hour before we start the movie. 54.5 Axis Radio is hashtag Team Red with the skull. That is the wrong team for today. I know there were some earlier chats. Unfortunately, YouTube likes to dismiss them. Karoganites is Viva Karoga, Viva America, red, white, and blue. Absolutely. Kronos says first. And then, of course, he's not first. Aravic Sonder puts in a $1 super chat. Thank you so much, Aravic Sonder. And then Kronos says, think I'll call it a day as far as tububin. Have a great day. Take care, Kronos. Is what I said to him.
Kronos. We need you.
Professor Brainy Spec says, is Bird ever going to start the stream? And he says, I'm always late, always making us wait.
Very much is true.
Josh Reed says, remember to go to the Birdo screening room to watch along with the great sleeping Bird of Prey over at www.birdofprey.com/SR. And yes, if you'd like to watch this movie today with us, obviously you can watch it on Disney Plus, or if you have your own copy on DVD or Blu-ray. But if you don't have those available, you can watch my copy along with me as if you were here in my living room while we're live by going to www.birdofprey5.com/SR. Right now, there's nothing playing in the screening room, but in a couple of minutes, I will start the movie, and you can watch there if you don't, or you can.
And by the way, if you send an extra $50 to me for next week, I will send you a small vial that you can open up at the beginning of the movie, and it'll even smell like Bird of Prey 5's living room during the show.
Wow. Smell-o-vision.
Yeah, you don't want to know what it smells like, but it'll smell like Bird's living room.
It'll be straight from Sassy.
Next Friday's movie, AT? Any hints of next week's movie?
I'm not entirely decided, but there's a couple of strong possibilities. One of which may involve total global destruction. The other just simple rape. So we're not 100% sure on which way we're going to go yet.
Darren Wagner says, now it's official. Nobody sent anti-tracker money on this stream. Well, in all honesty, next week for us is going to be Die Hard 3, Die Hard with a Vengeance. Just for those who know, because it's a summer movie, and we are certainly in the middle of summer.
I was worked the last few times you showed the 2 Die Hard movies.
So the 2, it was Christmas. Each one time was Christmas.
Yeah, and I was at work both times you showed those.
And Paula, I'm sorry, you were a little low. I missed her.
Christmas. Die Hard is kind of a Christmas movie, so Christmas in July.
Well, the first 2 are Christmas movies, and we watched the first 2 on Christmas over the last 2 years. I was purposely waiting to show the 3rd in the summer because the 3rd movie is a summer movie.
And confirmed, Bird of Prey 5 is rude to Paula.
And John Araki with a $1 super chat. And John, you can't see it, but I do have Streamlabs open, and you did get Kissing Dax. So there you go. Yeah, you got Kissing Dax, so I will play it.
And that just adds to the aroma of Bird of Prey 5's living room.
John Street. So I did that one. I did that. The screening room.
Yes.
John Street says, make sure you use that Bird of Prey in your comments to keep the evil sleeping Prey 5 awake, or just pay Prey to start throwing snap and pops at Bird. Well, Prey is not here this weekend because of 4th of July.
Says he's evil.
I'm just not arguing about the evil thing anymore. Hector says, happy 4th of July to all the Yankees. Thank you, Hector. And Hector says, Private Joe was going to be Captain America until a jerk threw a dud grenade into the training field. I remember that. That's one of the most memorable scenes.
In the end game, at the very end, when you see old Steve Rogers, doesn't he look like Joe Biden?
Wow.
Professor now that you mention it.
Does he?
Because a lot of images were showing them side by side, and there's a very strong the two.
They made him up to look similar.
I can't say
I wouldn't say. I don't think he looks like Joe
Biden. An old man to me.
Yeah, just looks like old Steve Rogers to me.
Mm.
Professor Rainy Speck says, wakey, wakey. Jedi Bill says, hello, Bird of Prey, Qapla, and hail, Karoga. He actually says Karogo, but we know he meant Karoga. Mako says,
remove John's image text so you can see me and Paula in the screen.
Death to Turdistan. Sorry about that. And God bless the USA and Karoga. Thank you, Mako. Morris Joe Michaels waves. Qapla, Morris Joe Michaels. And he says pickles. LDG is here because Jedi Bill's waving to him. Welcome, Pickles. Cinnabon says Captain Woke, the first SJW. Richie Poole says hello, world. Welcome, Richie Poole. The Random Menace says greetings from the future. Happy Independence Day. Thank you. And also thank you for your first super chat, Professor. Random Menace. MJ Garrick says drop Black Widow before Infinity Wars and Captain Marvel after the snap. Merry Freedom Day. Thank you. And Paula says thanks. Paula came in. And we got Dee Dee Myers says howdy to Paula. John Araki says hashtag free Gina. Thank you, John Araki. And he's going to be disappointed if Bird doesn't screen Black Panther on Juneteenth 2022. Well, will it be 10 years old?
No.
At that point? No.
Not even close.
So that's why it's a 10-year-old movie. We got to wait till it's 10 years old. Otherwise, I have no problem doing it. Also, we need to wait till Juneteenth is a Sunday or whatever day I'm doing cinema on that year. John DeMarco says, Bird reading the chat. He could do this all day. Yeah, I skipped a lot. And Wesley Crusher says, Bird of Prey, greetings, Americans, patriots, and people from other countries.
Hey, Wesley Crusher's not welcome around here anymore.
At work.
That whole thing
there's
on
a difference
Facebook,
between our Wesley Crusher. There's a
What did he
difference
do on
between our
Facebook?
Wesley and what Will Wheaton did on Facebook.
Will Wheaton, dude.
You know quite well what Will Wheaton did on Facebook.
No, I do not. That's why
You
I'm
don't
asking.
know?
No, I've been at work.
Yeah, fill us in. Some of us haven't been on Facebook for 3 years.
If I don't know if you know, but earlier this week or last week at this point, Donald Rumsfeld passed away. He was a big government guy in the Bush administration and before. And Will Wheaton said, yay, that he died. And he's like, and told the universe to now do Trump and Dick Cheney.
Oh,
so
boy.
I didn't really, if he wants to celebrate over the death of Rumsfeld, that's one thing. But then asking the universe to kill 2 more people, that did not sit well.
That's a poor taste. Really poor taste.
Yeah, really poor taste. So, some people, like Anti-Tracker, made a whole video about it. I would suggest you watch.
Okay.
One of the very few videos I've made that Bird of Prey actually recommends.
And another one YouTube didn't tell me about you making.
Of course
Well,
not. YouTube doesn't like videos
In
like
fairness, at least half the video is me, but it's okay. Okay, maybe 10%. 10% is me.
that. That's true. Bird does appear quite a bit in the video. As a stress, kind of, Bird is my stress ball in that video.
Actor says, skip the first chats. I was asking, well, I didn't skip them, they were gone. Asking if one could get a tale on how Quiroga helped the states obtain their independence. Not today, maybe tomorrow. Yeah, okay, so tomorrow for Monday for Bed Life, remind me and I'll tell you how Quiroga was instrumental in the independence of the United States.
Oh, please.
In fact, I want you to know one of the final battles of the Revolutionary War
listen to the
was
propaganda.
fought right on Quirogan soil. George Washington himself crossed Quiroga and blessed this land. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
These are verifiable facts. You can ask the George Washington Society of Quiroga, and they can confirm.
Really? The George Washington Society of Quiroga, huh?
Yes, I'm sure they have a statue with George Washington shaking the hand of Bird of Prey 2. Right there.
No, we had a statue, but we took it down for political reasons.
Oh.
Wow.
George Washington didn't, Anyway. Yes, and John Araki watched the video because he knows Anti-Tracker has Clinton dirt. Yes, if you watch the video, you will know that Anti-Tracker has information that can lead to Hillary Clinton's arrest. So just be on the lookout, Anti-Tracker.
Yeah. You
Rumor
never
has
know
it
when your appliances will turn on you.
Yeah, maybe on suicide watch.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the movie Captain America. So head on over to the screening room at birdofprey5.com/SR. There is one, I'm getting a little feedback from somebody. Let me check. Yeah, Jedi Bill, it's yours again. We're getting like a noise,
Like
maybe
mist,
a fan or something. So if you could just mute until you got to speak, that'd be terrific. And Random Menace popped in for a second and then popped out. Maybe it was an accidental click.
It was a surprise lovemaking time.
Okay, well, if you're coming back, Random Menace, you're welcome to come back in. Okay.
There goes
Jedi Bill device got disconnected, but I'll let him back in if he comes back. Okay, so to the screening room, and I will start my countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play. And come on. Float on up. And we have...
Float on up?
Said load on up. There we go.
Float on up.
Yeah. It's like
okay.
The movie projectors in Quiroga operate on toilet flotation devices,
welcome, Random Menace, and welcome back, Jedi Bill. Qapla.
Are you still hearing the audio issues?
It's a lot less. It's good now.
Bird, you got the movie muted.
No, it's not muted. There's just no sound at this point.
I can't hear anything, and I have volume full up.
I don't think there's sound yet. It's starting now.
I can hear it.
Now the sound
started. Now the
music.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I hear sound.
Yeah. This was early in the MCU before the dun 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 during the the Marvel logo and stuff.
Oh, I completely forgot about that. Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. This was before people got excited about the MCU logo.
And for anybody who wants to honestly mute the panel, you can do that by just muting your YouTube and watching in the screening room. And if you want the movie louder, just lower your YouTube volume and raise your computer volume. There's a volume control in the screening room, but it only gets so loud.
It's kind of quiet, actually.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, normally it would be a lot louder than this.
Pozdraví z budúcnosti. Moment. Oh, sorry, the Universal Translator wasn't on. Greetings from the future.
Greetings, future man.
Thank you very much for the invite, despite I'm not from the United States.
It's okay.
Hey, I'm not from the US either, so...
You're right. But on the other hand, I'm as well not British, so...
No, that's okay, just as long as no one here is British. They're the only ones we have the day against.
Oh, you should have invited Dr. Alex.
Dr. Alex, I haven't seen him.
Might be in bed for all we know right now.
Now, looking at the condition of the airplane, why is it that, Steve didn't, get out?
Got unconscious and froze.
But later we see him jump out of airplanes without a parachute.
Didn't it sink?
Maybe he didn't know he could.
That's why he's not dead, only frozen. And it's plot armor, so.
I know.
Maybe he purposely stayed on the plane in case someone tried to get back. So that's why you didn't want to.
You mean like the most patient guy in the world?
I guess. I don't know.
Says where is he gonna go? They had to drill down to get into him.
I think I've only seen this movie once.
Got some Norse mythology in here.
Now, does anybody know why Hugo Weaving refused to come back to play Red Skull in Infinity War?
Should we care?
I'm just curious. I mean, granted, the guy that replaced him did a good job, but I just didn't understand why would he refuse to come back.
Not enough money, not enough airtime.
Maybe he had a fight with somebody.
It's called prerogative.
It's his prerogative.
He really has this thing with crazy cars, though.
Over money. I just read it directly from an interview with Hugo Weaving.
Really?
Yeah, just money.
Kind of figured. That's why a lot of these people don't come back to replay their roles, because they want more money, because they now know how popular it's become.
He was expecting to become to be Red Skull in earlier movies, and then it was postponed and moved out, and then when they came for with the part for Infinity, what was it called?
Infinity War.
Infinity War. He said that was much less than I got for the first one, and this was for 2 films.
Well, it was also a very small part.
Yeah, he has less than 5 minutes screen time.
He didn't know that if it was a small part, and usually you know how it is with those movies that a chunk of it lands on the cutting on the floor
Cutting
of
room
the
floor,
cutting
yeah.
room. Yeah.
Is the guy we're talking about this bad guy here?
Like heck.
Yeah.
They had actors play roles in the original Star Wars that completely got cut out. Well, mainly because the scenes were junk. But imagine being someone like that. It's like, I was in Star Wars. Oh, what part were you? They never made the film.
Yeah, but it just bugs me when like egos like that. Like Hugo Weaving is a great actor. I love him. But you know, the Red Skull could have become a major villain in Phase 4. And there's no reason. I mean, Red Skull is a major villain in the comics, so there's no reason that they couldn't have brought him in for some major stuff if he had just played nicely.
Who did we lose?
Losing Hugo.
No. I mean, on the panel, I think Positive Candor. Right?
Jedi Bill, I think.
Oh, Jedi Bill.
Yeah. Oh, I can't see the page.
They lost Bill and
Positive Candor.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, if you want to come back, you're more than welcome. I don't know if it's technical issues or just
now right there. That's an
tired
Agent
of our
Smith
voice.
moment,
or just because of me.
He looks like Agent Smith right after he got a hold of the Oracle.
Jedi Bill's having network issues. No problem, Jedi Bill.
I love the German accent coming through.
Yeah, well, he does a great job. That's why I say, like, he commits to the role here.
Yeah, definitely. There's also a rumor report I've read about who they're going to do the first villain in the Fantastic Four movies.
If it's not Doom, it's a big goddamn mistake.
Yeah, they don't want to do
not who?
because he's been butchered so many times. They don't want to bring him back so quickly. So they're thinking about using Mole Man.
Well, Mole Man was the first villain that the Fantastic Four ever fought.
So that's who they're thinking about.
Right. In Fantastic Four #1, that is who they fought.
Yeah, but he was still lame.
Yeah. I would see Mole Man, honestly, I think that if they do it right, Mole Man would be a good villain to bring into the first Fantastic Four film, in a sense that he will be a throwaway villain that's not a major part of the plot. That he's just there so they have someone to fight at the end of the movie.
Like he turns out to be just a puppet of Doom or somebody?
No, he's well, it's not even that. He's a nobody. He's an idiot that lives under the city and has a giant pet mole. And at the end of the day, they beat him up and they throw him in jail, and that's all we ever see of him. But the point of it is just so that, because the point of the story of Fantastic Four #1 is not Mole Man. The point of the story is the Fantastic Four going on a space adventure and getting superpowers.
It's the origination story of the Fantastic
Right.
Four.
And so that's the story. Mole Man is just so that we can see them use their powers in combat.
So I think that's what they might do, because lately the MCU has been bringing a lot more comic book references into their product.
Right. Now, the one way that I would bring Doom into in the first Fantastic Four movie is not as the villain, but only as in flashback format to show him as college roommates with Reed. Because in the comic books, Doom and Reed Richards were college roommates. And it's something that they could exploit better. They haven't really touched on at all in the prior movies. And it's an aspect of their relationship to kind of set up for the future.
Uh-huh.
And also Mr. Lundell left.
Mr. Lundell left. I guess he wants to watch the movie. It's fine.
He hates me.
Well,
No, I don't know about
You can
that,
tell
but
them.
no, I understand. Some people want to watch, some people want to talk. It's absolutely fine. You can always watch without listening. You can listen without watching, whichever you want to do.
I will say this: if you don't want to talk, you shouldn't be on a panel.
Exactly.
I mean, I do love this movie, but I have almost every line memorized. So I can.
Yeah, that exactly with me. The same thing because I watched it like maybe 10 times in the meantime.
Right.
Easily.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys caught this, but there's a reference here to some classic comic books here because the Human Torch is actually in this scene. The original.
Cool. Yeah, the display.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's coming up right there. That red suit. That is the Human Torch from the original 1940s comic book.
And of course, they have just Evans there with it because it's awesome.
Yeah, which is it's an android that was designed to fight crime by bursting into flame and all. It was the original Human Torch. It's in that glass case because if it's exposed to the air, it would burst into flames.
Early Stark.
Yeah.
Man, I wish they really had more about his dad in these movies because he seems like a very interesting character.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty car.
A lot of modern day MCU stuff all revolve around what he did and Tony just perfected.
Right. I want that car.
Interesting movie.
Yeah.
With or without wheels?
Well, if you perfected it without.
This is about 100 years too early, according back to the future timeline.
Yeah, but when you go to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., were they not using? Basically, Coulson didn't use this type of car?
He had that type of car. But,
I mean, like levitation, yeah.
Yeah. Stark himself had nothing to do with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and he made, I think, 1 or 2 appearances in Agent Carter.
He was on Agent Carter, yeah, exactly. That was a good show. I'm so sorry that they canceled it. I really enjoyed that show.
I never caught that one.
I never got to watch it because it was never really promoted up here in Canada. But I saw
that's the problem. And actually, it's a hidden gem. I would say it's a hidden gem.
Yeah. Like I saw some commercials for its premiere, but after that, it was like nothing. You saw, even with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it was very minimal advertisement up here. Like when it first came out, of course, it was all over the place. But after like the first couple episodes, it kind of got hidden from everything else.
Well, the big problem was Disney was still trying to figure out what they wanted to do because they couldn't make Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Netflix shows and stuff, they couldn't make them true canon because they weren't being produced directly by Marvel. And so and so a lot of people didn't realize these were being farmed out. Like these were not Marvel in-house productions. And
I'm just reading some of the stuff here from Hector. Marvel Movies has a serious problem with his villains. Yes, it does, because they always seem to make them one and done. A lot of them. But he says we got 2 good villains. Baron Zemo from the movie one. But if you watch Falcon Winter Soldier, he's pretty good in that one too. And original timeline Thanos. So you didn't care for
I will argue on the Marvel villains suck thing. I know that some people think that I disagree. I don't think that Marvel villains all suck. I just think that Marvel focuses on the heroes more than the villains. Like for example, right here, I think Red Skull is a good villain.
Oh, definitely, but
right,
I just think they misuse a lot of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
they don't put any investment into them.
But I'm just saying, I think Red Skull's a good villain. I think Ironmonger is a decent villain. I think that Loki, one of the best,
exactly,
is a great villain. I think that what's the name? I think Ultron is a good villain. I think that the Winter Soldier, great villain. And of course, turns out to be a hero in the long run. But I think he was a great villain, and when in Winter Soldier in the movie.
Yeah.
So I don't think that Marvel has a problem with good villains. I do think that Marvel has a problem where they have a tendency to kill off their villains.
Yeah, like
that is what you're supposed to do, though, is kill your villain.
I disagree.
No, if you want to make money off of them.
Yeah,
I don't think that you should kill your villains.
They could have done a great job, made him more of a villain, like had him part of like the original Avengers or the second Avengers or something. Like he could have been an overarching villain for Phase One even. Then you got Hela, who would have been an interesting villain if they continued with her.
Well, remember, we don't even know that Hela's dead at this point. So
she probably isn't. She probably isn't.
They would have to nerf her power level a lot to use her again.
I don't think they would have to nerf her. They can use her in a greater role. Like have her face like the young Avengers.
The thing about Hela is you don't necessarily have to nerf her. You just have to be careful about who you put her up against. And that's where, if you put her up against Hawkeye and Black Widow, they're going to die instantly, right?
Yeah. Anyone short of Thor is likely to get vaporized in half a second.
Right, but let's say that you have a team up of Thor, Hulk, the Thing, Colossus. You got a bunch of heavy hitters. Yeah, they could go up against her, and so it's just going to depend on who you bring into that particular adventure, and that's the cool thing as they continue to build the MCU is that they have so many characters that they haven't touched. As they continue to do so, you'll have your base street level heroes like Black Widow and Hawkeye. You'll have your heavy hitters. You'll have your heavy hitters like your the Thing and stuff like that, and then you'll have your cosmic level heroes like Thor, and then same thing on the villain side. And so if you're going to bring in a cosmic level villain like Galactus, you don't bring Galactus up and say, okay, let's have Galactus show up in the Punisher movie. That's not going to work. But you do have Galactus show up in the Fantastic Four. Because that's kind of the Fantastic Four specialty is cosmic level events.
Mm-hmm.
Hector.
By the way, question.
I disagree. I think Loki is still very well done, and I think you got to applaud Tom Hiddleston for the how he's made that character like almost.
Someone saying Loki sucked or something. And Paul, was Paul saying something?
Sorry.
No.
Okay, I thought you said something. I know you're really quiet, so it's.
I just wanted to ask that right now with Loki, do you think that Black Widow is definitely dead, or will what is called the agency realize that she should be actually back and not dead?
The interesting. I think that at this point she is dead, but boy, the TVA could literally do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, considering that they use Infinity Stones for paperweights.
Yeah. That's hilarious, by the way.
Yeah, quite literally.
Well, they had to stay away from them somehow.
Yeah, I think that the TVA, if they wanted to bring back Natasha, they could. But the question is, would they want to?
Well, it depends on the contract they can get Johansson into.
Well,
that's why they brought in the TVA, so they can just move stuff around as contracts expire.
Well, I don't even know if it's that, because from the look of Loki, I don't think the TVA is going to be around that much. I think the TVA is going to be gone by the end of the series.
There's nothing stopping them from bringing them right back. Say, oh, you defeated this version of the TVA. We're a different version of the TVA.
No, the TVA is supposed to exist outside of time and space.
Yeah, the TVA. I don't think we're going to have alternate TVAs, but
let's see how long that holds.
However,
it's a very convenient way out of people quitting.
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if, as an Easter egg, at the end of the Loki series, like say the TVA, because we know that the TVA, all the employees of the TVA are variants, but the TVA employees don't know this, right?
Up until the last episode.
Well, no, even now, that most of the TVA employees don't know this.
No, but the ones that we've been following do know now.
Right, but that's only 2 people, and one of them's dead.
3.
Well, the third knew all along, but she's evil.
No, I'm talking about 3. You had the C-20, who's now supposedly dead, which I highly doubt. Morbius, and you had B-15.
Morbius is dead.
No. Like, we saw him do the exact same thing that they did with Loki, and we know Loki's not dead.
Well, okay, pruned. Morbius is pruned.
I think the other 2 have been pruned as well.
Qapla, good to see you.
Yeah. But but my point is, so at least out of the picture, it's not common knowledge. But my point is, so if by the end of this series, there's only a couple episodes left, but I'm assuming that it's going to become known to the TVA that they're all a bunch of variants. And they're going to have to somehow find ways to basically reacclimate themselves to going out into the world to, live normal lives moving forward or something. And you show them like clearing out their desks or whatever. And the last shot of the series could be, you see someone clearing out the desk and the camera pans up and it's Scarlett Johansson. And so that could be like, so she's a variant that's been working for the TVA, and so that's a way to bring back Natasha Romanoff. I could see them doing something like that, because I couldn't see a reason for the TVA to actually bring her back.
But you got to give it to Richard E. Grant for being classic Loki in that final mid-credit scene. If anyone's seen it.
I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with the band Lokis now that they've got.
I think we kind of know what they're going to do, and they're going to storm the TVA state headquarters, because you do see something like that in the trailers that they released.
Well, I haven't watched them. I've been kind of avoiding that.
I have a pretty good idea what they're going to do too. Nothing, because it's how they end every episode. Like, oh shit, something's about to happen. And then the next episode, they completely ignore the fact that anything ever happened.
Well, they can't ignore the stuff that happened in the last episode.
Yeah, that's what I thought about the timeline bombing.
Well, keep in mind, Bird, there's only 2 episodes left. So I do think something's going to happen. I'm also curious to see how, because I do think it seems like Phase 4 is going to be kind of revolving around the concept of the multiverse. Not just time. I think reality itself. I think the whole idea of multiverse, of alternate realities, all this stuff is going to come into play. I think that's why look at how WandaVision was all about cracking into alternate versions of yourself and stuff like that. And the way that it ended, we have 2 distinct versions of Wanda in coexisting with each other. And then we have this alternate version of Vision floating around. What's he going to be doing? And then now we have in Loki, it looks like female Loki is purposely trying to shatter the multiverse. And
still don't know.
I think honestly, from the look of it, I think that she wants to cause chaos. She is the Joker of the Marvel universe, except she's doing it on a cosmic scale. She absolutely wants to burn the universe down. Or in this case,
she has a valid, argument or whatever.
Yeah, look at what happened when she was a kid. They came and took her because she was a mistake. And so she's like, F you, I'm going to burn this whole thing down then. So I I do. I think she's, and you know what? Here's another case where people say bad villain. I think she's an interesting villain.
Well, I don't say she's a villain yet, to be honest.
Well, she's a Kurogan, so of course you don't think
there's nothing she's done villainous yet.
Of course you think so, because she's a Kurogan.
So far,
I'm going to make my final opinion of her after episode 6.
What were you saying, Paula?
This movie's got a pretty good cast in it so far.
Oh, absolutely.
Jones and,
yep.
And the Stanley Tucci.
And I absolutely love Tommy Lee Jones in this movie. Like that whole thing after the grenade thing, and he's like, he's still skinny. You know, that's like, I love that line. But yeah, so I think I'm very curious to see where they take the MCU in Phase 4. I'm sad that we won't have Captain America in Phase 4. I should say we won't have Steve Rogers, because we do have Captain America, just a different one. I'm sad that we don't have Steve Rogers, because I love the fact that he's the heart and soul of the MCU, starting with this film.
But I think they were trying to make Sam the new heart and soul based on what we saw in Falcon.
But you see, I think Sam. I think Sam is a good man, but I think he's driven by too much of an agenda. Steve doesn't have an agenda, and it's not a bad. It's not that Sam believes in a true version of social justice, not a perverted one like we see coming from a lot of people that are leftists. Sam believes in a true version of social justice, but you can't be driven by something like that and be the moral compass, because you're going to be tainted by whatever it is that drives you.
I think that's why we're going to have the new Captain America and White Wolf type thing as a yin and yang.
Isn't Captain America on the moon?
Yes, that's what Mr. Trent here 100 says. He's on the moon until needed. I thought that was like Fury.
Actor says Sylvia only killed 30 people, but I believe she only killed people who were A, trying to kill her, or B, people who were going to die anyway.
Oh, that makes it okay. Yeah.
No, but that's what she was just
in self-defense, in her own self-defense. So I wouldn't really consider that the same as killing innocent people.
So killing people that are going to die anyway is not.
If they're literally about to die in like 10 seconds, and you kill them early to protect yourself, it's not really murder.
Yeah, but it still means she's responsible, Bird.
But if she didn't do it, they'd still be dead.
She didn't kill any innocent people. She just killed TVA agents, Minutemen. That's all she did.
She enchanted some people who might have died because someone else killed them.
We haven't seen, except for agent.
So, how many people do you think may have died because of all the divergent timelines that are being created right now?
I don't know any divergent timelines have been created.
Remember when she dropped all those?
And then the TVA apparently fixed every single one of them.
And how many people did the TVA have to kill in order to fix those?
That's the TVA killing them. That's not her.
And so she triggered those events so the TVA would go out and kill those people.
No.
Anyway, I understand. She's Kurogan, so she could sit there and just like butcher babies, and you'd be good with it.
I think she's like the anti-hero type tale as well. I think she's like sees herself as the hero in her own head. Which I
find her an interesting character, and that's the thing. I mean, so far I'm down with the Loki series.
I don't think she's that interesting of a character. All I get from her is she's angry.
All I know is that she's amazing because of how amazing Loki said she was.
Okay.
Please just say she's brave.
Yeah, when did Loki say she was amazing?
In this last episode.
He never said that he cared about her in the last episode, but he never said she was amazing.
I'll have to rewatch.
I don't know.
Whenever she's on screen, Bird hits slow-mo and mute, so he doesn't get all the lines.
Yeah.
What channel is?
I'm waiting for a wardrobe malfunction.
It's on Disney.
Is it? I need to subscribe to that.
Yeah, but you got to watch the other shows first. You want to watch WandaVision, and then Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then Loki.
See, I don't.
Yes, MJ Garrick. Loving oneself is Loki. Loving another Loki is kind of like the character. It's kind of
those shows are relatively short. It's WandaVision is how many episodes?
9 episodes.
10 episodes
or
9 episodes.
Yeah, 8 or 9.
Winter Soldier is Falcon and Winter Soldier is 6 episodes.
6.
And Loki.
And Loki is as well 6 episodes.
Yeah, it's like 10 hours worth of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 10 hours total.
Each one is like an extended movie. And interestingly enough, they each have about the budget of a MCU film. And it shows. I mean, these do not suffer from, this is television budget visual effects. They look like films.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for sure.
And
this is going to be the big part when Steve Rogers becomes Captain America.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a funny one, Mr. Trent. That's funny.
What did he say?
Loki loving himself is a form of self-masturbation.
It really, it's funny because it's like I was talking to Mrs. Anchecker about it. It's like, what more natural thing, considering Loki is the ultimate narcissist, what more natural thing would there be than for him to fall in love with a female version of himself?
Exactly. And it's not really identical to himself. It's a variant of him, so it's totally a different person, but same person at the same time.
Yeah.
But they've used that trope a few times, that a man's ultimate love is himself.
Well, Bird falls in love with himself 3 times a day.
TMI, man. TMI.
What's the music?
Yeah, I'm not sure where the music is coming from.
It's not me.
I think that was me. I'm sorry.
Perfect timing for the music, though. It was like Bird loves it. Bound down, bound.
Yeah, literally 70s adult movie music.
That was Bird getting ready for getting his baby oil out.
Why does he need like 50 vials, but in the future you only need a single vial?
They refined it.
Concentrate versus solution, or
those 50 vials, half of it's probably just alcohol.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt. I mean, could you imagine, besides getting injected with all that? Because I mean, Bird, like when you got an IV and they inject you with a bunch of stuff, how that can feel sometimes. And so imagine having 6 IVs going at once, but not only that, but then having them shoot you up with steroids that stimulate muscle growth that literally triples your size in a matter of minutes. That's got to be the most painful sensation that you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, it's not going to be pleasant.
Man, they really refined this vaccine, this potion, the serum, from needing all this. Just one simple shot in the arm. Injection in the arm.
Question is, why didn't they sedate him for this?
No kidding.
Maybe he needed to be awake for it. Who knows?
Well, it's the 1940s. It's like, be a man.
No safe space. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Like if this experiment were being done today, he could hold up his safety card and they'd give him a timeout. And...
Mr. Trent poses a good question. Why in the future no one uses Vita rays, and every time it goes wrong? Hulk, Abomination, Soviet Winter Soldier program, for examples.
Well, you see, with Banner, and that's actually a good question because they addressed that a little bit in The Incredible Hulk. So Banner was basically trying to focus on gamma radiation instead of the Vita rays in order to basically achieve the same effect. And obviously, with Banner's research in gamma rays, it worked better as far as muscle growth, but it had some unfortunate side effects.
It's funny how his pants grew.
Yeah, and that is an amazing side effect of almost every. The Hulk has the same.
That the pants always manage to stay on. Do they have the extra?
It's a Marvel thing, yeah. In the Marvel universe, pants are made of an indestructible material.
Shirts, no. Pants, yes.
Yeah. Shirts are made of destructonium, where pants are made of indestructonium.
They're made of vibranium. Oh, they blew up the station, and he steals the one formula left and kills the guy.
Yeah. And the funny thing too is that I know that
he still manages to walk away from it.
Well, because he just got hit in the shoulder.
Well, it looked like he got hit like in the ribs or something.
Yeah, it looked like he hit him in the body, not just the arm.
Yeah, but
it looked like she hit him twice.
It's just bad placement of the effect. Can't expect them to know where they're gonna end up filming.
Blood, no gunshot, no blood, no nothing from him.
Well, PG-13. They don't want to show blood if they don't have to.
Oh, but they can show the guns and everything, but they can't show him getting hit.
It's PG-13.
Like a piece of the action.
All right. Funny, and it's like he keeps grabbing his shoulder, and yet why isn't his shoulder just bleeding profusely?
Yeah.
Considering he took a bullet.
And I'm surprised no one's complaining about how well that one shot Peggy took. And if you watch this today, you'd probably have 100 channels saying, "Oh my God, they're making Peggy such a powerful person."
Oh, I'm sure. You know what? I would be willing to bet you that at this point, someone's doing a retrospect saying that we should have seen the MCU coming because Peggy Carter.
Yeah.
I guarantee you someone has said that by now. Even though the MCU is a myth.
No. I'm getting tired of it. I'm honestly getting tired of it. It's like...
What I want to know is how did he run over that broken glass without cutting his foot?
Super strength.
So, welcome to the panel. I'm not sure. SFC Christopher.
Mr. CCTV.
Oh, Mr. CCTV.
Yes.
Hey. So,
Sergeant First Class Christopher. Mr. CCTV.
Okay.
Happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day, man.
So my big problem with this movie, even though I think this is one of the best. I think it is the best of the Phase One Marvel movies. But Captain America in this movie is so underpowered compared to his later appearances.
Yeah, well, maybe because he wasn't really facing anyone that more powerful than he was, so you didn't have to show the full extent. But when
he didn't discover all what he could do. Actually,
yeah, but come on, I mean, he's basically a little bit stronger than average, a little bit faster than average, and he's just a little better than basically what a normal person would be.
Well, I have to admit
it takes time for the drugs to take effect.
I have to admit that as a Sergeant First Class, I am a little bit better than all of you.
Now wait a minute, buddy. You're not the only person that served in the army. Yeah, you're not the only person served in the army on this panel. So.
And this was such a great scene.
It was funny though.
This boy.
Right?
Go get him. I can swim.
I really like that because that was probably the most 1940s moment of this entire movie, because that is exactly what a kid in the 1940s. You go get him.
Yeah, you can see that clearly from the 40s because that's how it always was back in the earlier days of superhero movies. It's like, go get him, Scott, sir.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, my gramophone is from the 1940s.
I got some records from back then, but
you are aware that the records are more expensive than the actual gramophone itself?
No, I don't have any, but I don't have a gramophone, so I just have
enough. The gramophone's worth $600. The records that I have are worth $1,200.
Wow.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Now he realizes how strong he is.
Golly, I think it worked. Now that I'm a foot taller.
Are you allowed to say golly?
Doesn't one of the guys...
by the way, how considerate from them that they're not speaking German?
It's a movie.
You notice, by the way, this is the only time in the entire film that you actually see the Nazi emblem.
Well, earlier we saw it on a flag, yeah.
Okay, but these are the only uniforms, right?
I think so.
Yeah, because the other ones have the Hydra symbol.
Yeah, Hydra. They all wear Hydra uniforms, which are not Nazi uniforms, which are
killed them all during this time.
And they did that so they could show this movie in Germany.
But doesn't one of them look like Goebbels?
Trust me, it's in Germany. In Germany, they
they cut out this scene.
No, they didn't.
I thought they did.
No. Germany is pretty much a-okay with showing this type of stuff.
They used to not be, but now they are.
It's even with the episode of the original Star Trek, you know.
Oh, the
Patterns of Force.
Yes,
but early on it was banned.
It was not shown on TV. But I think until the 90s, but then they decided, what the heck?
Yeah, okay, we're good with it.
So, actor asks Bird of Prey, what's your opinion on why Disney uses rookie writers to write their expensive TV shows? Money.
Yeah.
The more money they save on writers, the more money they get to keep.
Yeah, they wasted up most of the budget on the effects, so they have to get writers that they can just throw cocaine at as payment.
But you also got to realize that, yes, sometimes it's backfires, but sometimes you can get a great rookie writer. how else would they get their start in the industry?
Mm-hmm.
So, and like if you watch the last Loki, whoever wrote it did a really good job of writing that episode.
As
They
far
can
as
get
I'm
their start
concerned,
writing CW shows.
as far as I'm concerned, people in the industry just all need to take a vacation.
Well, if it's the CW Superman and Lois, then they got good writers. If it's the other CW shows, then yeah. Cool.
As far as I'm concerned, is you know what? I don't give a crap about what people want to say about the writers or whatever of a particular show. If the show is good, the show is good. If the show sucks, the show sucks. I'm tired of people trying to say this show, they are hiring hacks or they're hiring good writers or whatever, trying to basically criticize a company for BS crap like that. Look, the shows are good. The shows have been successful. Get over it.
I am a writer. You guys know that, right? I am a writer. As far as a show is concerned on Netflix or Amazon or HBO, whatever, I can't do a weekly series. I can't do that, but I am a writer, and I wrote a book, and I think it was really good. But again, I have to, default to you guys. What do you think? Am I a good writer or not?
Well, I haven't read your book, so I couldn't say. Honestly.
Again, I'm willing to accept the criticism, regardless of whether you've read my book or not. But
there's no way to know if you're a good writer without reading the book.
Those who have to do a show on a weekly basis, they have to do it on a weekly basis, and you have to give them credit for being able to write.
Well, it's not like they're writing a show every week.
Oh, and the problem is
they're getting 16 or 20 episodes in a year. And there's a whole room full of these guys.
What I'm saying from my point of view is, yes, okay, so you are doing something that others cannot do. And you have to do it 16 times this year. Who else can do that?
In Hollywood, quite a few people.
I can't. That's what I'm saying. I cannot do that. So I
Are you trying to be a Hollywood writer?
No, I allow people to be as stupid as they want to be.
Yeah, but in Hollywood, there's a lot of people trying to be a writer. If the guys you got aren't working out, you can
fair enough.
clear them out, grab a new group.
Fair enough. If you want to hire a room of writers and they don't meet your standards, fire them and hire other writers. But I cannot do the job. So I allow my suspension of disbelief to be whatever in cinema.
But that's just lack of quality control.
That's what I was just thinking. I don't care how good or bad the writers are. The worse the management picking and choosing the good ones to make the episodes.
Yeah. Right. Well, and that's where, like, for me, when I talk about a show, I generally say, well, is the show good? And that's the bottom line is what I care about. Is when I watch a show, is the final product entertaining? Now, I will critique the writing, I'll critique all the rest of it, but the problem is that we get hung up on, like, it's like, how many times have people said, oh, you know, I hate Disney, I hate Kathleen Kennedy, I hate what, you know what? Disney has not made 100% great movies, they haven't made 100% crap, but you know, I'm not going to sit here and just go off on a person or a group of people. I'm just going to say, okay, this movie sucked, and let's talk about this movie. And so if this movie sucked, let's talk about what failed here. But I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, you know, this company sucks because they hire bad writers. I'm not going to say that about Disney, because Disney has made some incredibly good stuff.
Yes.
And we're watching, and guess what? We're watching one of those things right now. So, you know, granted, this was actually before the Disney takeover, but you know what I'm saying.
That's
you
fair
can
enough,
still
though.
recognize
I mean,
a
pattern
of
behavior
and
a pattern of success and failure within a certain company and point it out.
You are looking at something that, you know, I love this movie. Do the people that I love this movie? That's a question that you need to answer. You need to answer for yourself, not for me. I love this movie. But you need to answer for yourself. Do you love this movie because it's a good movie?
Yes.
Or do you love this movie because it leads up to something better later on?
Right.
I think this was a good movie standalone, and it's a good vital part of the whole picture. So it checks those both off.
Right.
Agreed. It checks both boxes. But
yeah, is it a
at the
perfect
time-
film? Yeah, is it a perfect film? No. And in fact, I said before we even started, I think the biggest flaw of this film is that it relegates World War II to a montage. That unfortunately they start out here at the beginning of the war and say, hey, you know, here's, you know, like right now we're at the beginning of World War II, and Cap's company is captured.
A good deal into it.
Well, right here we're towards the beginning of the war. His
involvement in the war, but they're like a year.
Well, but
year and a half in.
But you get my point. We're towards the beginning of World War II. He goes and rescues his company, and then we get a montage of the war, and then we go to the end of the war and the crash.
But the question is, what would you do? How would you do it? Because if you showed him, like, in, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, how many operations would you show him?
Again, exactly. Thank you, Random. I know who you are.
It's not a secret. It's not a secret, especially with this accent.
No, it's a complete secret. You didn't know that?
But no, it is. Seriously, you really need to take into account. Okay, he was in World War II. I was not in World War II. I was in Iraq, yes. So I know about Iraq. I know about World War II.
I don't think anybody said you were in World War II.
But that's abstract for me. In World War II is abstract.
Okay.
It's abstract for basically everyone alive.
We're talking about Captain America, and everyone who's read the comics knows that Captain America is from World War II. So how do you translate that onto film? Well, they did a great job with this movie, translating that to film.
But I think I think where I think what we were missing, and what would have been what could have turned this from what was a solid film into, I think Cap should have had his own franchise, to be honest with you, to where, and I know this would have absolutely run Chris Evans ragged, but They should have had him making World War II films simultaneously with doing films in the modern day, where he should have been making a series of World War II films at the same time that he was making movies in the modern day, so that we could have seen his adventures with the Howling Commandos and stuff. And in fact, I'll tell you one thing that I really would have loved to have seen is cast a very young black actor to be Sergeant Fury. And so you could have established Nick Fury as someone that he knew in both eras.
I would have loved
Fury. I don't think was that old.
Howling.
In the comic books, they actually came up with an explanation that they gave him some serum that helped him age more slowly. But because it was an experiment with like the super soldier serum.
Yeah, I think maybe not make a series of video movies, but at least done one with Captain America and the Howl and whatever you.
You could have done. You could have done a movie called Captain America and the Howling Commandos.
Yeah, the Howling Commandos. I think would have been a great
pulled
movie.
it off now, but back then it would have been too much for him.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I know that would have been too much for Chris Evans, but it would have been.
Captain America too.
He says World War II is familiar enough with audiences that isn't necessary to go into the war in extensive detail.
That's what they could have done.
We've all seen enough World War II movies.
Basically, when you realize that they mapped out, starting from Iron Man through all the movies, how they want to basically end up the first phase with the Avengers movies, and they planned out everything. So basically, we had to get those origin movies.
You know what would have been great if they did? If they did Captain America and the Howling Commandos as like the first, did your Iron Man and stuff, instead of Iron Man 2, do the Captain America that leads into this
allow me to disagree. Because one thing, when you look at somebody who is not familiar with comic books.
You're just saying that because you're a filthy Slavic, But
no, I'm not familiar with comic books.
Hey.
You're not allowed to say filthy Slav.
Sorry. I'm filthy, but okay. And
well, birds.
Okay. No, it's literally how many people who went to the theaters were not familiar with the actual comic books, and just when you think about it, those movies are made for way wider audience than the comic book readers, and this actually really helped.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of the comic book readers are really infuriated.
You guys have all seen We Were Soldiers, right? With Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson played Hal Moore, right? In We Were Soldiers. And that's a Vietnam movie. How many of you were in Vietnam? I wasn't.
I think only one or two of us were even alive during that time.
Right. And so how do you make a World War II movie Captain America? You do it this way because Captain America is fantastic. And you see the World War II stuff. You see the Yahtzees.
The Yahtzees?
Yeah, the Yahtzees.
They're rolling their evil dice.
So you're allowed to see that on screen. Are you allowed to see that now?
We're watching it, aren't we?
Mind you, it's 10 years ago. It's 12 years ago that we saw this movie.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus now.
Yeah. Are we allowed to watch this movie now? Are we allowed to? Is it okay that this movie is made now?
I think so. I don't think there's a problem with this film.
Really?
It's like I said, it's on Disney Plus right now. You can go there and watch it right now.
Okay.
It's not like
right.
it's
It is there, yes,
Mhm.
and there is the disclaimer at the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what disclaimer?
The disclaimer that says unfriendly scenes or something. It has to do with the
Unfriendly
Yahtzees.
scenes.
It has to do with the Yahtzees. It literally has that disclaimer at the beginning of the movie.
I'd have to see. I don't know what disclaimer you mean specifically. Let me go there right now. I'll go to Disney Plus right now, and
Isn't the disclaimer about that completely separate from
54
the story and who's writing it and developing it and how it comes about?
Am I mistaken? I think there is a disclaimer at the beginning of the movie, though.
All right, so Captain America: The First Avenger. If I hit play, Marvel Studios, Captain America: The First Avenger. It just goes right into the logo. There's no disclaimer before it.
Yeah, I didn't see a
Yeah,
disclaimer
really?
on any
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
other
Disney
Phase
scrubbed
One
a lot of
movies.
those.
Yeah, so it's not
The
like
disclaimers were on older movies.
Yeah, it's not like the Muppet Show disclaimers that was saying that, you know.
God, the Muppet Show disclaimers.
Yeah.
Even a couple of those they
crying
scrubbed
out loud.
off by now.
Right. But it's not like that. There's nothing like saying, "Oh, you know, this displays
Really?
people in another."
Okay.
Yeah.
I am mistaken then. I apologize for ruining your stream, Bird of Prey 5.
But I'll say this: no, in fairness, Mr.
You didn't
CCTV,
ruin the stream.
yeah, it's look, the Germans of the 1940s are still a group of people that it's okay to portray as bad guys.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So it's they, and I dare say that will probably never change. That is a group of people that you will forever be able to portray as bad guys.
I expect that the Fourth Reich is always going to be allowed to be bad guys.
Yes. So I'm not. I would say that's probably never going to be a problem.
No.
And 54.5 Access Radio, people say Yahtzees to avoid saying the real word because sometimes YouTube doesn't like hearing
Correct.
that word.
Which is why I said Yahtzee instead of.
What? We still got an hour in the movie.
I did not see that coming.
And here, you know, we have Yahtzees with space lasers.
Yeah. Yahtzee.
I wonder if their aim is better than stormtroopers.
You
with
are
space lasers.
aware that with sharks and
Everyone
space
has better
lasers.
If only they had sharks in this movie, this would be the best movie ever made.
All you need is, get the sharks and attach.
Just one shark, one freaking shark, and this would be the best movie ever made. But no, they forgot to include a shark.
One freaking shark with a freaking laser beam on its head.
I mean, man, could you imagine the gravitas of having Hugo Weaving going, could I just get one freaking shark with a laser beam? I mean, that's just hearing him say that line.
I think he has too much dignity for that line.
Oh, but it would be so beautiful. You know it would be beautiful.
Funny as hell, though. It really would have been funny as hell.
Well, he says Bucky now.
They are taking the laser tanks. You know.
Apparently, Arnold.
Hey, Kronos is back.
What was that, Paula?
Apparently, Arnold infiltrated the Germans.
Well, Austrian accents and German accents are very similar. In fairness,
yeah.
Austria was always aligned.
Only for Americans.
Oh, be quiet.
Really? You're making fun of Americans
Mr.
on
Slav
American
one.
holiday.
I love it how we woke up Kronos to He woke up to sharks with freaking laser beams.
See, like right here, if they're facing each other over a giant pit of water with sharks in it, imagine what an epic scene that would be.
Oh, and that's awesome. You get to see his eye busted up. There goes the gun.
Like, see, right there, the gun falls and a shark like comes up and eats the gun.
Yeah, like right now, you would just see the sharks swimming around.
Yeah, like there, instead of flames, you'd have sharks jumping up.
Yeah. At this point, I'm all about the Americans having sharks.
Captain America, you are no match for my laser sharks.
I'm all about having the sharks with laser beams on their freaking foreheads. Yeah.
You see, I have no nose because the shark has bitten it off.
Kronos asks why the Random Menace is here because doesn't he hate the MCU?
No, actually, I love the
hates America.
No, I didn't say that either.
No, you didn't say it, but we know it. It's in your heart.
You live in the EU. You're required to hate Americans. Isn't that a government mandate for you?
I do believe that.
Not really. We are part of the NATO, so we have to love America.
Hey, Joseph, just for me, say, you know, there is a laser on my shark.
What? There is a laser on my shark.
You see, it sounds so good. It just sounds so good coming from someone with your accent.
You're allowed to do that.
You need to. I'm telling you, Joseph. If I win a big old lottery, I will cast you as Dr. Doom.
And now he's going in his flying contraption.
I do like that they realized all those absolutely ridiculous kind of contraptions that you think of as the Yahtzee super weapons.
Oh yeah,
did you just say Yahtzee?
I did, because you've been saying it all this time. I'm trying to be considered a bird. See, right here, we need more sharks jumping up trying to get Bucky. Oh man, if I had the editing skills, I would get some sharks and make this work.
And actually, sharks swimming in lava.
Oh man, lava sharks.
Lava
You could explain it by they gave the serum to the sharks for testing.
Yeah, you have no match for my super sharks.
Yeah, basically, we had in another movie genetically improved sharks, Deep Blue Sea. Right?
Did you just say
they have 3 of those Deep Blue Sea movies?
Did you just say genetically approved?
Improved.
You are okay. So Joseph, say you are no match for my genetically improved sharks.
You are no match for my genetically improved sharks.
Yeah. See. Oh man.
Yeah, you're right. Anti-trucker. Yes.
All we need, you know what we need is
the accent constantly.
Well, here's what we need is I'm going to write a script for Joseph and Dr. Alex to plot to take over the world. You know, just the two of them in a room plotting to take over the world. And it's like everybody will be panicking just to hear those two voices because they'll think that
Piano Dean put in a request. Piano Dean asked Joseph.
Joseph and Andre.
Hold on. What's that?
Stream? Are you sure?
Piano Dean asked Joseph, could you please say goodbye, Mr. Bond?
Oh, yes.
Goodbye, Mr. Bond.
You see?
I'm pretty sure the world is going to end if Andre and Joseph get on the same stream. I'm absolutely positive the world is going to end if that happens.
Here comes Cap with all his.
And it's not even so problematic. The only thing that I had to do is stop the th sounds and basically instead of the, say the, and roll the R's.
We see now. Here's what I want you just say. Like, it's not even so problematic. I just have to put you in a vat of acid and watch you die. You see, you say something like that, and it's like you can
And
say.
Also, Joseph, you really only have to say duh, because we as Americans, we do say duh a lot.
Dar.
Duh.
That fancy then European man, he's gonna kill us all.
Y'all can say duh whenever you want to. Yeah.
So what did we learn today? That Joseph is going to destroy the world.
Along with Andre. Yes.
He's got a lot of cats. They'd be his perfect sidekicks like Dr. Evil.
Oddly enough, I hate cats. I hate pets. Right? But I have 2 cats.
I think Joseph is designing cats with super danders so that if you're allergic to cats, they just instantly kill you.
I have 2 cats that live in my house. I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it. I have a dog that lives in my house. I'm still not happy about that either.
I do like this Stan Lee cameo. I think that was a good one.
Yeah. But doesn't that feel like the ending of the movie when you saw them panning away with the whole crowd of him saving the soldiers and everything? Doesn't that feel like the natural end of the movie?
Well, it's the end of the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have to get through the... Okay, guys, we're going to do World War II in the next 20 minutes.
I'm still figuring out how to work my computer now that I've got freaking...
All right, you can talk about me for a minute. I'll be right back.
I have to hit the top of my computer to get my 3 screens working. Does that make sense?
We used to have a TV set that we had to hit on the top so it works sometimes.
No, I don't
80s.
actually have to hit my computer. I have to put my mouse at the top of the screen to get the 3 internet live streams going.
The guy that was on the left side, him. Where's he from? I recognize him.
Honestly, I don't know.
He's been in a lot of movies. Okay.
Are you talking about the guy from Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah, he's in that sci-fi Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, he was in sci-fi Alice in Wonderland. He was the guy who wore the bowler hat.
I've not seen that, but I just recognize who he was. He's the what show was that?
He's also Batman did kung fu training with Ra's al Ghul, right?
Yeah, that's
he's one of Raza's henchmen.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. He is one of Ra's al Ghul's henchmen. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I recognize.
But it's the same guy.
This is a precursor to that same character, or it's just the same actor.
Holy crap! I know who Ra's al Ghul is. Shit, Are you people allowed to have me on your panel as a nerd? Because seriously, 10 years ago,
we don't
I
distinguish
didn't know
between
who
DC and
Ra's al
Marvel.
Ghul was.
I just knew I seen him before.
That is Neil McDonald, I think. At least according to IMDb.
He's a good villainous character actor.
Which is fine, and I loved him in it's you know oh, god damn, I'm ruined. I really am. I'm ruined. But Alice in Wonderland, right?
I've not seen that. That's
Oh yeah,
intriguing.
he was in the CW. He was Arrow.
Yes, he was in Arrow. He was in The Flash. He's all of that. But he was originally he was originally the guy in
Holy crap, he has 132 film credits.
Yeah.
Or acting credits.
He's fantastic. He really is a fantastic character actor. He really is. The fact that I can't remember his name is actually credit to him.
About that. I can't remember names.
It's Neil McDowell or Donald. I don't know how to pronounce that. Something Irish.
Yeah, it's credit to him that I cannot remember his name.
Yeah.
He's absolutely fantastic, and every time I see him, I go, I wish I could be that guy. And I don't remember his name.
I never remember names. Song names, people names, band names.
But that's the whole point, you know. If you want to be a character actor, you want to be someone that no one remembers.
Because then you can melt into the character you're
Exactly. You can melt into the character.
Without being such a big name that your
Right?
notoriety overtakes your character.
That's the whole point. And Chris does a fantastic job as Ra's al Ghul or his henchman, right? But everybody, we all watch CW, even though we talk about how much we hate CW, but we do watch it, right?
At least used to. It's been a few years.
So it is, yes. That's the guy that we're talking about. Right? We want to be that character actor who nobody remembers their name. But you're in every goddamn movie that's ever been produced in 30 years. Because everybody knows who you look like. They don't remember your name, but they know who you look like. That's who I want to be.
Yeah, it keeps your longevity more than the top stars. Sort of like the baseball player, great outfielder, great hitter, but he's going to be in and gone 5 to 7 years, and the utility guy is going to play for 15 or 20.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the shortstop plays for 15 years. The outfielder plays for 5 years. And you go, wow, the outfielder is the outfielder. Well, have you looked at the shortstop? He's been playing that position for 15 years.
But I missed World War II yet?
Most of it.
Ongoing.
Oh, this now you see, this is the tank that would make Thomas very, very happy. I mean, look.
Are you saying that you want to be Thomas the Tank Engine?
That's what I was just saying.
There's nothing wrong with that. You can be Thomas the Tank Engine if you want to be. You can identify it as that if you want to.
No, I don't identify as a tank engine. I'm saying.
Okay, so question. Would these alien Yahtzees defeat the Star Trek Enterprise alien Yahtzee?
Well, that is a good question.
I would say based on what we see their weapons do, yes.
I do love me some World War II people. So,
and they do seem to be better shots.
I think that the World War II fellers would be the fellers would be proper.
Kronos identifies as Airwolf.
I don't blame you. You know, you can identify as Airwolf. I did love the helicopter when I was a child. I'm not a child anymore. Go ahead.
Yeah. By the way, was it a real helicopter, like a real model, or was it something?
No, it was a real helicopter.
Yeah. It's mainly just stock footage of a real.
If it's like a real model, or was it somehow, you know?
I would like to hear well, what is your name? Michael. I would like to hear Michael say the verse that goes along with I was a child, and now I'm not a child. I speak like an adult.
I have no freaking idea what you're talking about.
Really?
No.
Okay. It's Paul.
Oh, big guns.
Apostle Paul. Don't worry about it. Just
all right. You'd say like, well, just.
Well, that would have been impressive to see as the Taskmaster.
Yeah, I wouldn't get too worked up over the Taskmaster for Black Widow, from what I've heard.
Why, he's not good?
I'll just say this. One reviewer said, yeah, he does not say a single line in the entire film.
Well, you kind of expect that.
Right, but yeah, I'm just saying, don't expect much from him. He's there, but it's kind of like, you know...
We've seen all the good scenes in the trailer.
Well, expect about what you got from Crossbones. He's there, you know.
Anticipated, but not very impressive.
Well, he's just there. It's not like, ooh, yeah, Taskmaster, major MCU villain. Oh, and he's done.
Well, it seems like he's a big part of the video because of all the shots you see him in the trailer.
Yeah, and Crossbones seemed like he was a big part of Civil War too. But you know, that
so basically, every shot he's probably my chin. And there goes Bucky.
Yeah.
Fuck.
He was the honorary red shirt.
Well, he was the first fake out death of the MCU.
First of many.
Yeah. See, but Bucky learned the secret. If you just become good, you cannot die.
If you become popular, you cannot die.
Exactly. But a lot of the people on there are popular. The original 6 of the Avengers were probably the most popular.
6 o'clock in the afternoon. Fuck. Fuck.
You okay, buddy?
Oh shit! I that was out loud. I'm sorry.
Okay, you all right, man?
No problem.
I'm not okay, but it's fine because I'm a veteran. Really, I did not mean for that to be live.
Okay, not a problem. Anything
Not a
we can do,
problem.
you let us know.
Sorry about that.
I'm familiar with that word too.
I'm just angry at everything today. But
It's mostly anti-tracker's fault, but it's okay.
Yeah, mostly anti-tracker. Yeah, it's fine.
I want that steak so bad.
Oh, who doesn't?
It's with sauteed broccoli.
No, you can have the broccoli.
Yeah,
I really did not realize that I was live when I was making stupid statements. I apologize.
It's okay, man. We all make stupid statements, especially Bird.
Well, Bird is good at it.
About his yum yum?
I have to say, I think that this is Tommy Lee Jones's best scene right here. Yeah. Does that give you a rumbly tumbly?
I like him as an actor. He's been in a lot of good stuff.
You know what? Especially I liked him in The Fugitive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There he was like perfect.
I didn't do it. I don't care.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
K in the first 2 Men in Black.
Yeah.
Third one, eh.
He's only in it for a couple minutes.
I really liked him in the first Men in Black, though. Like when Will Smith was like, "Look, I don't want to hear any of that slick or any of that. Sure thing, sport, whatever you say. But you don't know dick."
Yeah. And here's his agents of Hydra.
If only that shark had not bitten the nose off my face.
It looks like they're going to start
You
doing
know,
the YMCA dance.
interesting that they're taking it. The Hydra is supposed to represent the Germans of the 1940s, but yet I think they're doing the salute that the Japanese did in the 1940s. When they were going on
They're just doing that because most people don't know the Japanese salute from the 1940s, but they do know the German salute from the 1940s, and they wanted to do something that was reminiscent of the German salute, but different than the German salute.
Yeah, but it's more, well, because I know my history pretty well, it's more of a Japanese thing.
Right.
There's only so many salutes one can do.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand that.
And most people don't know their history very well, so they just have
understandable.
Hollywood kind of banks on that fact.
Yeah. But it's just a little bit of a tidbit information for anyone that wants to know that it's quite similar to the Imperial Japanese of the 1940s.
It's probably coincidence. Like when
It's also
I
very much
found
like the
out
Kurogan salute.
that the Klingon, when they discommodate somebody from, the High Council, it's very similar to what my fraternity did.
What fraternity were
when
you a
they
part
had,
of?
I'm not going to tell you which one now, but it was one of their symbols too. I was like, holy shit. I joined a Klingon house.
Delta Kappa? Like, we don't have fraternities up here in Canada.
Yeah, it was a Greek letter organization.
Yeah, sure it was.
I've talked about it before, but since I just told you a symbol, I'll leave the name out for today.
Mm.
I mean, it wasn't a secret sign, but it was, something done behind closed doors.
Yeah, involving lots of lubricants.
That's how most fraternities are, because they don't
this was a professional fraternity.
Right.
Yeah, it was a
Not
nerdy
a social.
fraternity. It wasn't the booze and whores fraternity.
Right, but there was lots of lubricants involved.
There was lots of booze and not a lot of women.
But still lots of lubricant.
Although we were co-ed,
That's
so
wrong.
we had women who were members.
But not having...
See, that's why it's kind of gross, is that there were no women, but there was lots of lubricant.
Though the women were also called brothers. So.
Just because you call themselves co-ed doesn't mean there was any women.
So let me get this straight, Bird. You had a bunch of women that you call brothers, but you denied the whole she-male accusation, right?
Yes, they weren't she-males. They were female.
Keep going.
They were women.
These are more theoretical women than
they were just women that you called brothers. Right?
Because our books were written when it was a all-male fraternity. So nobody wanted to update it to change the...
Because, of course, the women were male.
Huh?
Because the women were men.
No, because we let women in the 70s. And the books were still written from the 1900s when the fraternity was founded. If you pulled off the pieces of paper, you saw some really racist stuff.
Racist and probably lots of people.
Well, they covered it up when they changed the rules after the civil rights movement.
Right.
Of course, after I graduated, they just sent completely new books because they realized people were starting to peel off the pages and see what it used to say. And it got a lot of people upset.
And understandable.
You know,
they never heard of Whiteout.
Just released a movie video today on his YouTube channel talking about this very thing about Captain America.
Who released what?
Captain George.
Oh, Captain George. How's he been?
I don't know. All I get is automatic updates from his on his Discord about when he puts out a movie, a video. And today is Happy 4th of July with Captain America MCU #short.
Oh.
I still haven't figured out Discord. I have access to Richard's and I had to mute everybody because it kept telling me notifications for things. I don't have any idea how to use it. And I've not needed to yet.
Yeah, I kind of suck at it too, so I don't feel bad.
I have a login. That's my own. That's about it.
I have found Discord not worth it.
I know on Life of Matthews it's very active. Up to over 600 articles of impeachment.
I think that's the only reason to go to Life with Matthew's Discord at this point.
You probably created at least another half dozen impeachment articles just today. Like not having a saying he's a proud Texan, but not having a 4th of July stream.
All right, so how do I get this stupid camera to show up?
If you're not watching and just listening, this sounds like a Star Wars stormtrooper shootout.
Well, except that these guys are hitting people.
Well, there's
exactly. The only time you actually see stormtroopers hitting something is, I think, episode 7 of season 2 of The Mandalorian. You know, when he goes to get to figure out where he has Mando has to go get the plans, and they infiltrate the Imperial base and everything. That's literally the only time I've ever seen troopers actually hit the target.
That's funny.
Stay on target.
Yeah, I'm a bad Star Wars fan. I haven't been able to watch it yet.
That started out sounding so naughty. I'm a bad Star Wars fan, you know.
But I'm a diehard. I'm one of those that'll love it no matter how bad or good it is. It's just...
Okay, I'm going to put that to the test. Do you like The Last Jedi?
I'm so bad a Star Wars fan, I haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
Keep it that way.
Yeah, I was
you
going
can
to
remain a Star Wars fan.
Because that's the one I love Star Wars. I loved it since 1977 when I first saw it, and fell in love with it that day. But that is the one Star Wars movie that I genuinely dislike.
I haven't seen it yet. I have it.
And that's good. That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I literally
pretend that trilogy never happened and just...
Well, actually, you know,
Anything else?
The problem is that Rise of Skywalker and The Force Awakens I can deal with. They're flawed, but I can deal with them. But yeah, Last Jedi...
Last Jedi...
that's the only one that was intentionally tanked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it ruins the trilogy. Like, they could have had a mediocre trilogy if they just made Last Jedi somewhat relatable to the other two movies. And the only Star Wars movie I haven't watched and refuse to watch is Solo.
I liked that one.
Solo actually isn't bad. In fact, I said Solo I think is better than Rogue One as far as story is concerned. It's just that it's not worthy of a Han Solo film.
Yeah. They'd be good if they're off-name characters, nothing to do with the main universe.
Oh, wait. Best joke of the MCU right here is coming from Tommy Lee Jones here. Love that line.
I'm not kissing it.
Yeah, I liked the Solo movie, but I'm partial to Chewbacca, and his story is really good.
I honestly can't make myself watch it. I just can't, because on how bad the Last Jedi made me
you see,
feel.
that's the problem. You see, Solo came out on the heels of Last Jedi. That was its biggest problem.
Yeah. But I just can't make myself watch it. I can't.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. But...
Yeah, just pretend it's not actually Han Solo and Chewbacca. It's just a bunch of idiots who look like Han Solo and Chewbacca.
Just think of it as a different smuggler and a different Wookiee.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I didn't even. It's just, man. It's why did they? You know, it's the origin of Han Solo's stuff.
A question on people from military. Is it normal that you put names of the cities on bombs when you want to drop them?
No.
Like saying I'm going to drop this on Denver and then you go drop it on Denver?
No, that is not normal.
Yeah. Well, they're planes too.
Yeah.
But don't they at least name the bombs? Like put some sort of naming on it? Like they give a code name or some sort of clever...
No, that's not a normal thing. Like there are times when you'll see that like people will do that as kind of it's not an official thing where people decorate bombs and stuff. Like you'll see people paint like sayonara on a bomb, thinking that someone's going to see that just before it blows up in their face. But nothing like that is official, and you certainly do not write the name of the destination of the bomb on the bomb.
Well, I knew that part. But like,
yeah.
The clever.
Hey, look, a little bit of blood there. That's some serious MCU blood there.
Well, they say that Deadpool 3 is going to be their first R-rated movie.
Well, that's because they have to make Deadpool R-rated. If they make Deadpool PG-13, there would be riots in the streets.
But that means they better make Blade, their new Blade, R-rated.
Well, Blade they could do either way. Honestly,
they'll see how Deadpool goes before they even consider what they're going to do with Blade.
Right, and with Blade
off to Sony.
And honestly, with Blade, think about this: is that with the way that like. If they were going to do Blade in a similar fashion as they did with him with Wesley Snipes, the way that you kill the vampires and ash them, you could do that mostly PG-13, as long as you're not seeing the vampires doing anything particularly graphic. Then you could do a PG-13 Blade.
Yeah, but you kind of want to see the vampires do some graphic stuff.
Like what? Honestly, the reason Blade was rated R was for the language more than anything else.
Yeah.
Oh.
There really wasn't that much graphic content in Blade, but like Blade finished his signature. Some mother effers got a ice skate uphill, which I love that line because it makes no freaking sense at all. But lines like that are why it's rated R, not really because of anything more than that. There's not even that much blood in the movie.
Not really.
And
apparently, Kronos has been flinging some moist gummy bears at you, Anti-Tracker.
Okay, that's weird.
I don't want to know how he got them moist.
Yeah, yeah. But if they're gummy bears from certain parts of the country, I would love to have some.
Maybe he stole them from Bill.
I'm just curious. Who do you guys think is going to be the big baddie for Phase 4? Or are they just going to be very small characters again?
Well, it depends. Like if they finish Phase 4, if they want to finish Phase 4 with an event, because obviously, the Avengers are kind of done, right?
Yeah, we're going to get a new set of Avengers.
Right, but if the Avengers as a team are kind of done, which is fine because I think that the climax of the Avengers with Endgame is perfectly fine. That was a great arc for that team.
Yep.
I would say have a Galactus event. Have Galactus land on Earth, and every hero they can muster has to try and stop him, culminating with the Fantastic Four leading them to victory.
But wouldn't that be like a multi-phase arc to get Galactus in? Like, say,
No, because Galactus is not a multi-phase villain. Galactus is a singular event.
I'd say put Doctor Doom as the next big bad.
No, Doctor Doom is a multi-phase villain. Doctor Doom is I'm going to plot and scheme like Thanos. Doctor Doom. In fact, Doctor Doom is one of those villains, and he has in the comics before. He can outwit Thanos. He can outwit the Beyonder. He is like the most dangerous baddie of them all.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
because
yeah,
way it's going to go.
Yeah, Doctor Doom, I would say phase 6, 7, 8, like way down the road. Yeah, so Doctor Doom is the next Thanos level event. But like for the end of phase 4, so the end of phase 4 would be like the New York invasion level or Age of Ultron level event. That's Galactus.
I thought they would save Galactus for that big Ultra thing.
No. Because Galactus, think about it, Galactus doesn't plot. He just shows up and says, hey, I'm going to eat Earth.
Well, a lot of people are saying that the big baddie for Phase 4 is going to be Kang the Conqueror.
I could see Kang, but you see, honestly,
They'd have to build him up quite a bit, though.
But you see, and that's one thing I've thought about as far as like that could be something with Loki that they could be building towards. Like, is Kang the one behind the TVA?
Yeah, that's what they're leading towards. That's what a lot of the reports are saying, and they've been talking about Kang since like Infinity War. That he's after Thanos, he's going to be the next big threat.
And I'm okay with Kang. Honestly, I don't think that he's that exciting a villain. I really don't. He's got cool tech. That's his big thing.
Yeah, but he's not even close to being as well known as Thanos, Galactus, or anyone else. Right. He's D level almost.
Well, the thing about
they gotta really build him up.
In the start off with the Loki, and then probably end up finish him off his arc in say Doctor Strange. That would be good enough.
They're gonna need a bit more than that. They're gonna need a good 2 or 3 years worth of movies to build up Kang.
Well, keep in mind if it is Kang, if Kang's going to be the phase 4 baddie. Now, keep in mind that with and people forget this, with phase 1, Loki was only in one movie before the first Avengers film, and with phase 2. Ultron's first appearance was Age of Ultron, right? And so, I mean, he was one and done, which is too bad because I loved me some Ultron. I want to see more Ultron. Now,
I think they left it open for him.
Oh, yeah, but you see, here's the thing with Kang is that they've got plenty of room to work with him because if they want to bring him in and they want to basically because Kang is from the future, he's got access to tech from basically all time, like tech from the ends of the universe. And so if you want to push that angle and you want to push it that he's the guy behind the TVA and everything, then I would basically make it that he is the guy behind the TVA and Loki, but Loki can't even touch him. I would then and then I would make it so that in Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange can't touch him. You just have him like this guy that's nobody can touch. And then finally the Fantastic Four have to try and take him on. And that would be your big phase 4 confrontation. Mm-hmm. But it's still, Kang is just basically a souped up version of Iron Man. He's Iron Man with time travel.
Hence why in the last episode, if anyone's seen it, the Time Guardian, the Guardians of Time, whatever the hell you want to call them, the Timekeepers, were androids. Yeah, they were androids. Who else?
Just call them Larry Mullen Curly for all that matters.
I don't think they were even android. I think they were just animatronic dummies. I don't think they were doing anything.
Yeah, so who else would have been able to create that?
But you see, I don't think they were anything special. I don't think that the keepers of time. I don't think they were I think they were just like they were no more sophisticated than the animatronics at Disneyland. They were just there to put on a show, and I think that they were only there in case someone happened to follow what's her name into that room. Because I can't never remember her name. The biracial chick that was the judge.
Yeah,
because I think she knows.
Yeah.
I think she knows that because I don't know much about Kang after 1990 because I gave up on comic books around then. But my understanding is that her name matches one of Kang's lovers from like the later comics. And so that would make sense that she would know if she is Kang's girlfriend, basically.
And like I said,
the way they're going, they might make her Kang.
I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to gender swap her just to do it. And I don't think they're going to gender swap a high-profile character like that. Like Ghost, when they gender swapped Ghost, nobody knew who Ghost was. And so basically nobody cared.
Well, no one cared about the Ant-Man movies anyway.
Well, I do. I think the Ant-Man movies are some of the best in the MCU.
The best, I feel.
I love the Ant-Man movies. They're thoroughly entertaining. But the... oh, man, you're going to love if you like just fun, stupid fun movies, the Ant-Man movies are that. They are fun to watch. And Paul Rudd, he is just... Paul Rudd is a national treasure in those movies. And the funny thing is, because Ant-Man in the comic books is actually a pacifist. And Paul Rudd, he's not really a pacifist. He doesn't want to fight. And he doesn't really
He's an outright coward.
Yeah, he doesn't really fight that well. But it's okay. He's still a fun character. And the funny thing is that I keep meaning to do a video on it. He's the single strongest character in the MCU.
Ooh,
and I can absolutely prove it.
I would hope so with that claim.
Oh yeah, I can absolutely prove it.
Michael there says that the nurse in this scene should have been Black Widow. That would have been an interesting thing to introduce her. That would have been That would have been an interesting thing.
However, I would say this is that if it was Black Widow, then he wouldn't have been able to get away so easily.
No, maybe she was wanting him to get away
and you could argue she was busy trying to babysit Tony Stark.
Well, this was after the Tony Stark thing, so
she wasn't still introduced at this stage.
No, she was introduced in the next movie.
Yeah, she was in Iron Man 2.
It would have been
never cast yet.
Chronologically, actually, she's already with Tony because remember, the next time this is the next time we see Cap, he's working out, and Nick Fury is bringing him into the mission for for the New York invasion. So I think that chronologically, she's probably with Tony right now.
Yeah, probably, but
in real life,
probably still not even cast for
In the actuality, she's probably not even cast.
Yeah, but it would have been just a little interesting tidbit if that was her there, because it would just been interesting, because then they would
suck if they took that girl out and put her in instead and redid them.
Or no, actually, no. I take that back because Iron Man 2 came out before this.
No.
Yeah, because this movie was the lead into Avengers. I forgot because the post-credit scene for this movie is the trailer for Avengers.
Is it?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Hey, Kronos, how's it going, man?
So if I wanted to watch the next one in order of timeline, what movie would I watch next?
As far as if you wanted to watch it chronologically or in the release order,
not release order, in like
chronologically, you'd watch.
Chronologically, the next movie would be Iron Man.
Okay.
Disney Plus, I believe, has.
No, I lied.
Will compile it for you.
Chronologically, the next movie would be Captain Marvel.
But it would make no sense to watch Captain Marvel after this one, because then you would see Captain Marvel and then
doesn't mean she doesn't mean chronological like in release date. She means taking place in the timeline.
Right. So in the timeline, because Captain America is World War II.
It would be Avengers.
Captain Marvel takes place in the 1980s. Then we get Then we have Iron Man
It was 1990s for Captain Marvel because you'd see a blockbuster.
I'm sorry, 1990. I thought it was 1980s for some reason. I was thinking Wonder Woman 1984, getting confused there. But yeah, 1990s for Captain Marvel. Then we get to the first Iron Man movie. It's from Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Thor,
Hulk,
and then the Avengers film.
You would watch Hulk in between the Iron Man movies because Hulk events, they show clips of Iron Man.
Right. Well, Hulk and Iron Man take place almost at the exact same time because, like, we go straight from the Tony Stark learns about the Avengers Initiative at the end of Avengers, and then Tony goes straight to trying to recruit Hulk in the Incredible Hulk, or actually trying to recruit Ross. So,
like, I got a good. The way I did it, I laid out the MCU movies in an order that would be very interesting for people to watch it for the first time. Like, I would have Captain America, then you'd have Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, Iron Man. No, it'd be Iron Man 2, Thor, Avengers.
Paul, I'm sending you on Facebook message an article that goes literally chronologically how the movies should be watched.
Oh, cool. That'll help.
But
I'm
up to the
considering getting
person in general.
so I can watch
It's not
content.
date of
I know,
release, but
there's
they
so
go
many
from
movies now. I mean, there's 20 plus films.
23.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, 20.
Plus Black Widow is 24, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Black Widow will be movie number 24, kicking off Phase 4. And of course, Black Widow technically is going to come in after Winter Soldier, right? Or is Civil War?
No.
I get him.
Civil War.
Civil War.
Yeah, I would suggest you watch in the order they were released.
It makes honestly, it makes the most sense to probably watch them in release order because that's the way they're kind of constructed as a story arc.
Yeah.
Because most of them, like they have flashbacks and flash forwards to trying to get you up to speed
For
with
the
it.
person that hasn't seen them all, to
Right.
help you understand. Because I've missed about half of them at least.
Yeah, but
we never
for me,
went to
I
see
do it
them in the
half
theaters.
chronologically, half release order. Like,
Stop trying to confuse her.
sorry. But I would watch it chronologically at the beginning and then go to release order.
But I kind of mix it up myself depending on the mood I'm in. I'll skip movies every now and then, depending on my mood. Just watch the fun ones. The ones that I think, like when I want the fun ones, especially like if I'm feeling depressed, I'll go to movies like the Iron Man movies, the Ant-Man movies. I'll stay away from Thor 2, the Incredible Hulk, the more serious ones.
I like Wonder Woman.
If you want a fun movie, watch The Guardians, the first one.
Yeah, Guardians are a lot of fun.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I have seen that one.
Yeah.
The first and the second.
The second
the third one hasn't come out yet.
The second one is more of an emotional ride than the first one. The first one's just about having an adventure, but the second one is quite emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Ant-Man is great. Ant-Man and the Wasp I like too, and I know that a lot. See, that's one of those movies that everybody's like, oh, MCU time, but it was actually really good.
Yeah, like
And-
honestly, I'm surprised not one of these certain channels have gone through the MCU movies before this, and say, see, this was going to accumulate to this, MCU stuff.
Think about that. Like one thing that's because the Ant-Man suits are made by a scientist, and the Wasp is his daughter. Ant-Man is just some guy as far as he's concerned. And when he makes his daughter's suit, her suit has wings and blasters. Ant-Man's suit doesn't. His suit can just shrink and grow. And so he's like, oh, I get it. Since her suit's newer, you didn't have the blasters and wings and stuff when you made my suit. And he goes, oh no, I could have. It was just like, but it's my daughter.
Mr. Trent, the first movie was just simply called Ant-Man.
Yeah.
And then it was Ant-Man and the Wasp after that. The first Marvel movie.
The third one I cannot wait is called Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I love that title.
It's going to be hilarious to see that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
See, when I saw those movies coming out and I never watched them, in my mind, I'm thinking Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
It is, but that's the thing. It's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but superhero time, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, and by the way, you can't, if you haven't seen Civil War yet, you know, it's funny because Civil War is the craziest Marvel movie because on the one hand, it is probably got some of the most serious and dark moments in all the MCU when Cap and Iron Man go at it. However, it also has the single most hilarious moment in all of Marvel when Ant-Man figures out how to go to Giant Man.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
And it's just like the funniest thing ever when he does that, because you know it's coming. It's not like it was the worst kept secret ever. And when he finally gets to be Giant Man, and everybody's like, "Oh great, he's big now. What are we gonna do? He's a
holy crap!"
And he's sitting there going, "Oh." It was awesome.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of those. I've seen Thor, the first one.
Thor didn't really get into a good stride until Thor Ragnarok.
Well, the funny thing about Thor Ragnarok is honestly the best Hulk movie ever made. And which is weird, but it's
one of the best villains up to Thanos.
It's the best Thor movie and it's the best Hulk movie.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And so Hulk, it's fun because it's Hulk's third movie, right? But it's really, if not counting like when he's part of a big team, because this movie is really just Thor and Hulk, and we really get into Hulk as a character.
Yep.
And it's really good.
Which
the only thing I would change about Thor Ragnarok is I wouldn't have made it as comedic.
Mm. Which Hulk actor was the Ragnarok?
That's Mark Ruffalo.
Okay.
Mark Ruffalo has been the Hulk ever since Avengers.
Right.
Edward Norton played the Hulk in the first Hulk movie. Well, the first MCU Hulk movie.
So you see, this is the actual post-credit scene, is the trailer.
Yeah.
Loki.
But even though half these scenes weren't even shown in the movie.
So that's why I'm mad at Matthew for not doing the movie night every week. I was thinking it'd be fun to do the entire MCU, but it would take an entire year to do it if we're doing it every other week.
Yeah.
It would still be interesting for you guys to do it eventually, but
yeah,
it'd be fun.
Yeah, you got a good alternative with the Jeopardy.
I like doing the Jeopardy thing, but I'd like to do the movies every week. Yeah. But Matthew's.
You just need to vary up the categories of the Jeopardy too.
Well, and I need writers then to help me with the questions.
Mr. Trek, Trent, we did see Hulk versus Thanos at the beginning of Infinity War, and Hulk got whipped. Like it was hands down a one-sided match.
I know a lot of people wanted a rematch, but honestly, it would have gone the same way.
Yeah, because he wasn't even using the Power Stone at the time.
Hulk was completely outclassed by Thanos. And in fact, the interesting thing is, like, as far as power scale is concerned, there are only a couple of heroes that can take Thanos down, even without the Infinity Gauntlet. And that's basically Captain Marvel, Thor, and Scarlet Witch. Yeah, they're the only ones that can take down Thanos.
Yeah, and the guy like one of his henchmen says, Thanos was just playing with the Hulk.
Yeah.
He's just playing with them. So
I have one question.
What's up?
Is the host with us?
I think he fell asleep.
No, the host is here. You guys, honestly, I'm not a Marvel expert, so you guys know a hell of a lot more about this Marvel minutia than I do.
I only know Marvel based on the movies. I haven't watched any of the Marvel TV shows except for the recent ones, and I never really got into the comics.
I was big into the Fantastic Four as far as the comics, but my knowledge of Marvel comics ends abruptly in the late 80s because I got tired of what was referred to as the dark ages of comics, when all of a sudden everybody wanted to start doing dark and gritty storytelling.
Just bringing up Michael Garrick's stuff. Is Thanos some kind of eternal god, right? No, he's like something like their offspring type deal, like a nephew or.
He's a Titan.
He's associated with them, but not quite to their level. Hence why I feel like in the Eternal movies, even though I think the Eternal movie so far haven't really cared for what's come out.
The Eternals trailer to me looks like it's a movie about people.
It's nothing.
Isn't Godzilla
a movie about
and
lazy
Kong,
people?
aren't they Titans?
No, they're above.
They're kaiju.
And you see Comic Talk and Darren Wagner is in the chat.
And Darren Wagner shows up and he says Hulk has beaten Thanos in the comics, but again, we're talking about what we see on screen.
Yeah, and the films, you got to take it with a grain of salt. And Darren knows this, of course, is that in the comic book versions and the film, like in the comic books version of the Infinity Gauntlet, if you have all 6 stones and the Infinity Gauntlet, first of all, remember how using the Infinity Gauntlet basically killed Tony Stark, right? Yes. In the comic books, if you get the Infinity Gauntlet with all 6 stones, you are God, basically. Like capital G, God. You can control the universe. And so it doesn't drain you, it doesn't kill you, it doesn't it would not do anything like that to you. And so that's complete. That's something they did in the movies. So you would become the ultimate power. And in fact, it would, in the comic books, the way that Thanos was defeated was Thanos basically decided that, he decided he no longer needed to be in his physical form. So he literally left his body so that he could be one with the universe. And then Nebula walked over and literally just took the gauntlet off of his lifeless body and took the power from him.
Yeah,
and that's how he's beaten. But then she put the gauntlet on, and all of a sudden now she has the power of God. So that was
what is happening with the Eternals. It looks like yes, it was a rush team, but you got to remember this movie was supposed to be released last November.
Yeah,
so but the Eternals a good trailer, and they never did that.
The Eternals movie it doesn't. The problem is, and I don't know if it's just a badly cut trailer or if it's a bad script. It just doesn't tell me what it's about. Like I when I see that trailer, I'm like, what is this even about? I don't know. I have no clue what this movie is about. That sword was really cool looking, but I have no clue what this movie is supposed to be about.
But best I can tell, it's just a bunch of bored gods sailing around the universe.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're going to make the Eternal villains, because why else would they awake after the death of Thanos?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And understand, yes, Darren, I do see that Thanos was in possession of the Power Stone when he fought Hulk in the movie.
But he wasn't using it.
You never used it. You never see it activate. You never see it.
And then,
him using it.
Even in when Thanos was fighting,
John DeMarco.
Have a go, John. When Thanos was actually being overpowered by Captain Marvel, he had to, because she was holding his gauntlet open so he couldn't use the stones, he had to actually grab the power stone out of the gauntlet so he could activate it with his raw hand to punch her and send her flying. The stones themselves have a very specific activation sequence. You don't, at least in the movies, they don't work at all like they work in the comic books. So you're not just augmented by having the stone, even though when he puts it on, it looks like it's like, going into his veins and stuff, unless he actually activates it by closing his fist for some reason.
And select which one he wants to use, because whenever he uses the space stone, you see the space stone glow and activate.
Yeah. Right. So that's, why they did that mechanic in the movie, I guess to kind of limit him, because I probably because they didn't want to bring in Eternity and Galactus and all that, because that would have been.
Darren says
crazy.
the Stark Gauntlet is not the Infinity Gauntlet.
Okay,
but
which could explain why Stark died from using it.
No, because it's still
power running through him.
Stones fused with his suit.
No, because I think that the Stark Gauntlet was designed with the same purpose as the Infinity Gauntlet. And
but he doesn't have the same magic of the dwarves to forge a gauntlet. He just has petty Earth tech.
I don't think that Stark tech would be considered petty, especially
exactly. I would like to have this petty technology.
Yeah, especially if you consider that Thanos himself recognizes and respects Stark's level of knowledge.
Yeah,
and so I don't think, and so I don't think that that's. I don't think that that's like the point. I think that with, as far as the way they set it up in the movies, they wanted to limit things. They didn't want things to get too out of hand and have to bring in the cosmic entities like they did in the comic books. Because if you read the Infinity Gauntlet comic series is epic, but to the average moviegoer, when they start bringing in the Living Tribunal and Eternity and Galactus and all the rest of the cosmic beings to try and take down Thanos, not to mention the fact that the Silver Surfer and all of the superheroes defeated like with the snap of his fingers and all the crazy stuff that happens.
Welcome to Aaron Wagner.
It would break people's brains, I think.
Hello. Yeah, I definitely think that the Hulk should have gotten some involvement in the direct fight with Thanos in Endgame. I think that
I agree.
Fans were expecting that.
He should have, but he was.
I agree with that. I'm just saying. I think that's why. I think that they probably going through their head was it would have just been the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, we don't know. Unfortunately, we'll never get that. That fight, but when I first saw Infinity War, I'm thinking, well, the reason why he's able to so handedly overpower the Hulk is because he had the Power Stone in his possession, and one of the things that does is that if it's in somebody's possession, it just naturally augments their physical power, and so that was what I was thinking they were going with when I saw Infinity War. But then when we went to Endgame, Thanos without the stones, any of the stones, was able to overpower basically two versions of Thor when you had Captain America, using Mjolnir, and then even though Fat Thor was fat, he was still Thor. So there was that, and Iron Man. It would have been nice if the fans could have gotten he could have gotten a couple of licks in.
I honestly think that fight, I didn't like that the snap incapacitated Hulk because I wanted to see that the fight with Cap, Iron Man, and Fat Thor versus Thanos. I think needed to have Hulk in that fight because that was the core Avengers.
Right,
of course. Right. I gotta go, guys. Dinner time. So
take care, Commodore.
Have a good one, Commodore.
Thank you for coming up.
Yep, and for anyone that wants to know, you can always subscribe to my channel for more of this nerdy talk.
Absolutely.
And see you all next Sunday.
Take care.
who is this fat Thor you're talking about compared to regular Thor? Why is there distinction?
Well, actually,
do you want the spoiler, or do you want to find out?
Is there a spoiler? Really?
Well, there kind of is a spoiler, yeah.
A bit of a spoiler.
Yeah.
Suffice it to say that Thor gets drastically out of shape in between Infinity War and Endgame, and there's a lot of reasons for it. There's a lot of reasons for it.
There's good reason for it, and it is a story element. So it's
not a surprise that it's coming, but also I'll find out when I watch the movie.
Yeah, it's not. I think it's kind of. To some people,
a low-grade spoiler at best.
Yeah, it's one of those things that some people found offensive. Other people thought it was brilliant. It just depends on how you take it.
And Chris Hemsworth loved not having to work out much.
Yeah.
That part.
I mean, the only thing I could think, and if I'm on the right track, did his Natalie Portman character have a baby?
No.
No,
not that we're aware of. No.
Because that would be a reason to have him get.
I think more along the lines of PTSD.
Yeah. Yeah. So suffice it to say, even though Thor is still superhuman in Endgame, he's not quite at his best. We do know from set photos on the movie he's making, Hemsworth is making now, that he's back into full-on Thunder Chad mode, for the next film. So
yeah, he's looking good.
Temporary condition, yeah.
Meaning that Mrs. Antitrekker will probably be banned from the theater.
Oh dear. You don't let her see Momoa. You don't let her see Hemsworth.
Well,
doesn't even let her talk to Dr. Alex.
He's the only voice
she's Mrs. Antitrekker.
There's just certain voices she's not allowed to hear.
With Mr. Aquaman. He's quite
nasty. I would think you would want her to see them, Antitrekkers, because you're the one going to get the benefits of that.
Well, it's just one of those things that I've just don't like.
After she says, "Talk to me like you're Dr. Alex," once or twice, it gets demasculizing.
Demasculizing? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Is that not a word?
If it is, it's a new one.
Demasculinized.
Look it up. I'm sure it's in the Kurogan dictionary.
Oh, I'm sure it's in the Kurogan dictionary.
You just wrote it there, Bird.
That's a wiki. It's easy to edit. I'll even put Antitrekker's picture in next to it.
Oh, thanks. That's very kind of you.
Well, that was a good long movie for the 4th of July, Independence Day. Granted, I didn't hear half of it because you guys were talking, but that's fine. I caught up on some Marvel lore.
Yeah, if you actually want to watch a movie, you don't invite Antitrekker.
You're kind of a jerk.
Kinda.
Or
if we did the word count on this panel, you would win, Antitrekker.
No, that's true. I don't deny it. I got no mouth.
That's
but it's okay.
To talk through.
That's completely okay. Sometimes when I just want to watch the movie, I literally don't come to the panel, and I just basically turn on the stream before the movie. And during the movie, the stream is basically on mute or off, and then I come back after the movie. Pretty much so, and I think many people did it today as well. Those who wanted to watch it and not listening to us.
I like what you know. Yeah, I think many people did that today. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, it's not because of you, or not just because of you. It could be me, because Mr. Londell left the moment I appeared. I
think Mr. Lundell left because I appeared.
I don't think it was you, Joseph. I just think there was a lot of talking, and he's used. Some movies when we watch, it's It's a lot of silence except for when something big is happening.
Yeah.
And some people like that and some people don't. And some people like it like this and some people don't. So there's no making everyone happy. It's just the way it is. You take it, you like it. I mean, like I said, you all ultimately have the choice to listen to the panel or not.
Right.
So I don't worry about it too much.
Exactly, and I love this format. I love this format because it is either interactive or you can just watch the movie that you are providing in the Bird of Prey cinema.
Yeah, and talk about it afterwards or tomorrow or whatever. I just like that we all have a common ground on which to talk about movies.
Is something weird with the audio only for me that is going up and down, or is it for everybody?
It's a little weird today. I don't know what it is.
I don't hear much weird today.
It's like like the volume. Somebody increased the volume by 50%, and then it goes back.
Paula's volume, I have it set at 200%, just so I can hear her.
Hey, Yosef.
Yes.
Do me a favor. Say this. It must be the sharks in my volcano.
It must be the sharks in my volcano.
It's man, it's just too perfect.
One more thing I do want to say about the Hulk Thanos thing is I thought it was brilliant that they actually started the movie that way, because in the last two Avengers movies it was always the Hulk was their big gun who showed up at the end, for to bolster their ability and for them to take him out right away in Infinity War. I thought was a really great dramatic thing. It set up the stakes really well right from the get-go.
I thought that was brilliant because as soon as when Thanos threw that first punch and Hulk went, I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That actually hurt him.
Yep.
And so that was the moment. And in fact, I have to say, it's the first and so far in my life only time that I've heard a music cue literally go dun dun dun, and it was effective.
Yeah.
When Thanos threw Hulk on the ground, I was like, wow. Yeah.
There was another visual cue there as well. In the 2008 Hulk movie, one of the big dramatic moments was when the Hulk finally got revved up enough to be able to overpower Abomination. There was a moment where Abomination had him by the wrists and was holding him up against a wall, and then the Hulk overpowered him. Well, they did that exact same thing with the Hulk having Thanos' wrists, and so it was a intentional deja vu moment. I thought that was a well done moment as well. But yeah.
See, I didn't care much for the Hulk movie, so I watched it only probably like twice. Mm-hmm. But that's actually a great cue.
My favorite call, it was one of those, and I know you got this right away, Darren, but it was something that only the comic book nerds got, but I thought it was brilliant, was the substitute panel for panel substitution of Silver Surfer for Bruce Banner in the opening of that with Thanos is coming. In the comic books, Silver Surfer barely escapes Thanos, crashes through Doctor Strange's house, lands in his staircase, and Doctor Strange looks over and he's sitting there sprawled out, says Thanos is coming. They set it up the exact same shot with Bruce Banner saying that. And in fact, they used the Rainbow Bridge or the Bifrost effect exactly the same as they used for Silver Surfer's surfboard effect to make it look like the flight for that same panel of him flying in. I thought it was brilliant because I got goosebumps thinking that I was seeing Silver Surfer for a split second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is Doctor Strange a bad guy or a
no?
Guy?
Nope.
No, he's a good guy. Usually.
I haven't seen that one obviously either.
That one is a really good one.
You've got a lot of great movies to watch.
Yeah, I haven't. It's just one of those things. We didn't see them in theaters and we didn't buy a lot of them because they're just so darn expensive. And now
But when you get Disney, basically, how much is it? Like $6 a month?
Yeah, you can watch them all on Disney.
I need to look into that because I already have Hulu. I mean, not Hulu. Yeah, Hulu. Can't you?
Yeah, you can bundle up Hulu and Disney.
bundle.
Yeah, that's like $18,
but it really only
$20.
pays if you also on ESPN.
See, I'm
Otherwise,
not a sports person.
No.
It breaks down. The ESPN is basically worthless on the bundle. It'll break down to no commercials on Hulu, and you get Disney Plus. It'll be about $16, $18, $20 depending on your local taxes applied to it.
No, that's what it is now when it's separate, like because Hulu's $10 without.
No, what I pay now is just over $18 for the no commercials. Yeah, for Hulu and Disney Plus, no commercials.
Right,
it's under
Hulu,
$20.
Hulu is like $10 without commercials, and Disney is $6.99 without commercials.
Yeah,
so it's the same price.
Yeah, you're getting ESPN for basically free, but the ESPN Plus is worthless.
That's what I'm saying. I couldn't give a shit about ESPN. I'd rather not even have it.
Yeah, no one who has the package gives a shit about the ESPN Plus because they don't even do much live sports on it.
Yeah, so if I had found reason to bundle them, I would have, but I just kept them separate. NB Geeks, let's talk, is here. Qapla. And Kronos is Bird of Prey. Are you going to continue with MC movies in the future? MCU movies. Yeah, Kronos, as long as, they're in the phase one right now, we could do some more. As they're coming up on their 10 years, we'll add them in.
I think most of them already qualify.
Why wait 10 years?
I just have a personal rule. When I put these videos up, I try to do older movies. Just no real hard reason I get for it. Just I bent the rule on occasion. Like when we watched Please Stand By, that I thought was worth bending the rule since it was a part Star Trek movie.
Truth is, Bird's a coward, but
yeah.
Is Rabbit Slug still Kronos?
Yes.
Yep.
He's just not realizing that I'm Richard's wife.
I think so. Yes.
How long has he been around in the stream?
Well, Kronos forgets stuff sometimes, especially with the dual personalities. He has a hard time keeping track of it.
I'm sure he's been celebrating today, if you know what I mean.
Indeed.
Listen, there is a couple of important things before we go completely. But we're not getting ready to leave yet. But there is a missing person, actually 2 missing people. Lady Miss niece went missing, and there is a link to a video Loki put together with pictures, and a link to the newspaper article is in that video. It's in around Apple Valley, California, so I know most people here probably are not in or near Apple Valley, but if you know anyone in that area, please share it with them. I don't know if it's a case where they decided to run off together. They are a young couple, or they could have slid off the road somewhere. I really don't know. But hopefully for their sake, they're safe and just don't want to be found, but you can't take that risk. And the other thing is, of course, our friend Rambling Canuck has started dialysis, and unfortunately, there's no telling how long he might be on it. It could be a long time. So there is a GoFundMe for those who would like to help support Rambling Canuck, and I will put that link in too. If you can, please give them a little support. And if you can't, please share the link. If anyone else can give them some support, it would be greatly appreciated. I take it as a personal favor.
Yeah.
And Bird,
if it's not a statistical miracle, Rambling's looking at least around 2 years on dialysis.
Yeah, it's a tough road, and so we're all keeping Rambling Canuck in our thoughts and prayers, and hopefully, with the support from the community, we can keep him going. And lucky for him, the Canadian system is there to help him out, but it still ain't cheap to be sick. That's for sure.
Right.
And by the way, Bird, there's a question from Springtime for you.
Bird of Prey, are you going to do fireworks tonight from your Jeep on the highway using a Joe Biden ass plug? Well, I don't have a Jeep anymore, and I don't know what that device would be. But no, I don't generally shoot fireworks from Jeeps.
Well, that device is what Kamala uses to control his movements.
Is it?
It just moves around. She has a little remote control, and he'll walk around like a robot, and the verbal interface doesn't work too well.
Did you see the video where the woman asked him if he wanted a receipt because he was buying something at like a country store?
No.
And he said, "Do you want a
ice cream
receipt?"
cone.
And he pulled papers out of his pocket trying to read notes, and he started talking about how we don't know the Russians were involved or not as an answer. And I was like, what is going on here? He had a senior moment. The Nerdporial Lifeform, thank you, has renewed their membership, or it says auto renewed for a third month in a row as a friend of Karoga. Thank you, Nerdporial. So anyway, I wanted to just get that stuff out there. You're not late, NB Geek, although the movie's over.
So that would mean he's late.
I guess you are late, yeah.
You're not late, you just missed the entire movie.
It depends, did you want to watch the movie or not?
He's right on time.
If you wanted to come in after the movie, you nailed it.
I'm pretty sure that's the very definition of late.
They've already started with the fireworks here. It's still broad daylight, and Sassy is not happy.
Oh man, I tell you, Auntie. We gave Auntie some calming chewables. It's helping her a little bit, but yeah.
Your dog gets chewables, but you don't in your state.
Not legal here. What can I say?
But your dog can have them.
Yeah.
Are they?
Take some of your dogs then.
TCH based, whatever the hell.
Yeah, not the same ingredients.
Did you try catnip?
I have not tried catnip. No.
Oh man,
it's all mammals. Potato Revan's in the house. Qapla Potato Revan.
Oh, you're not letting him on the panel, are you?
Unless he finds the link. At this point, I wasn't going to send it out to anybody else because we're winding down.
Yeah.
Just say that you're hungry because it's 6 p.m.
Oh, I ate already. I ate while you guys were talking away.
Oh, of course.
Oh, okay.
He took a nap. He ate his meal. He's done.
No, I liked First Avenger. I thought it was it was a signature. What's his name? Johnston. What's the guy? The guy who directed it. I can't remember.
Joe Johnston.
Joe Johnston.
Joe Johnston.
Yeah. I mean, if you've seen The Rocketeer and things like that, he's very good at doing the World War II era fantasy film. So.
The visual effects were pretty decent in that one too.
Yeah.
I
said, if it wasn't for the montage thing, that's still my big gripe about the movie. I just don't like the fact that the entirety of World War II was reduced to a couple of montages. But I understand why it was done, but I just don't like it.
Yeah, because there's still the question: how else would you do it? You know.
Yeah, if they wanted to do an Invaders film, they could have one set during that montage.
Right, because we established the Human Torch. We have, we have Captain America. We have the Howling Commandos. You could absolutely do an Invaders film, which would be really cool. You could still do it.
Yeah.
So
welcome back, Positive Candor, to the panel.
Qapla.
And Michael Garrick says, does anyone here subscribe to any comics?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I never really.
No, and you Garfield. I don't think it counts.
Subscribe to a couple comic channels. Those reviews are enough.
So I'm gonna share a screen briefly if Bird will let me here. Let me grab it. It's for those of you who don't know who the Invaders are.
Invaders are freaking awesome.
This is an Alex Ross painting of them. You can see Captain America and the comic book version of Bucky, who is more like Robin, on the left. You've got Namor here, and you've got the Human Torch and his sidekick Toro in the lower right, and then you've got a number of other characters that were European superheroes that fought in World War II as well.
Yeah, you hear that, Slav?
Yes, Europeans. I like Europeans. Those should be my heroes.
Yeah, so that's an example. If they wanted to do a film like that, the problem, of course, would be trying to explain why they were mentioned later in the Captain America film. So you'd
have to have some throwaway line from Nick Fury, like, "Yeah, I remember the Invaders." History kind of forgot about the superheroes back then.
Well, I mean, just the fact that later on in the Captain America movie, if all of their adventures take place in that montage, then why didn't at the climax of First Avenger, why was it Captain America that was stopping the Nazi plane alone? Why wasn't the Torch there? Or,
right.
Whomever Namor there.
Yeah, you can explain that away that they're all taking place in the D-Day invasions or something like that.
That's
Son
possible.
of a bitch.
Yeah.
How'd you get this link, Potato?
I got it. I got it from the Russians.
The Russians.
No, it's not. It wasn't me. I have to say one thing.
It must have been you.
No,
dude, you're Russian light, man. Come on.
He said the Russians. You're the one with the accent.
Yes, he's the one with the accent. Yes, him. To us, you're
I'm the one with the understandable accent.
Yes, true. Now say understandable without rolling your letters. Go on.
Be honest, Potato. We've got a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna go through and see
Potato,
what people have to say before we leave. So,
did any of you notice the bruises on Bucky's face?
No.
When he was coming back after being captured, right? When doing the walking back, if you go back to the scene, look at Bucky's face. He already has bruises that look like the bruises from his brainwashing machine.
Well, would make sense. He's been brainwashed. No.
Yeah, already at that point.
Yeah, he was being brainwashed. Yeah, while he was captured. Yeah.
The Yahtzees were not known as being particularly hospitable.
But were Hydra actually just?
Well, I know the Hydra was nicer, but I'm sure they weren't particularly pleasant.
Were they nicer?
I'm sure they're doing some sort of experiment on them.
Yeah.
They may have been testing everybody to see if they're compatible with
the laser sharks or something.
Yeah.
And Garfield was up the entire movie. I took him down when we switched to this format.
But
and you're right, Robert. Wolverine would have been. You could have Wolverine in an Invaders film. That could actually be cool. Be a little retconning from the comic book end, but that's all right. Darren's not here, so I'll say it. That's all right.
Well, I think it'd be fun to have all of them, like Superman and Wonder Woman, and
I had
if they made
You'll never get him to agree to that.
Yeah, that won't happen.
I don't know. If we had Roger Rabbit, which had Daffy Duck and Donald Duck in the same scene,
I think
and we can have Superman and I don't know.
To get Warner Brothers and
Captain
Disney
America.
to actually agree on something like that, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Not with that attitude.
I think if they, instead of having Magneto being from World War II, I think he should be Russian or Eastern European and survive the gulags.
Wait, who? What?
Magneto. If they're bringing him into the MCU, just reduce his age and have him survive the gulags.
Why?
They will have to slide his timeline up to
because
get him into new movies.
If you look at him, he's too young to do what he's going to do. He'd be too young to be from World War II.
Well, you just say he's a mutant, so he ages slowly.
Yeah. He'd only still be half as old as you are.
Maybe so, but,
Arabic Saunders, have you ever shown Dick Tracy or Green Hornet? I've not shown either of those on Cinema Saturday or Sunday. I have seen Dick Tracy way back in the day I saw it in the movie theater.
The Green Hornet one, no.
No, I haven't seen Green Hornet at all.
Jason Reynolds.
But,
Green Hornet, I think, got...
Not Jason. Whatever the Reynolds guy's name.
No. Green Hornet, it has Seth Rogen. And
that was Green Lantern that you're talking about.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm thinking Green.
And honestly, I think that Green Hornet got some unfair hate. It's not a great movie, but it's certainly not nearly as bad as some people make it out to be. And it is, it is a comedy action film, but it's, I think, kind of funny. It's basically Kato is who was originally played by Bruce Lee in the television series. And so in this, they kind of show, Kato was the only one that really knew how to fight, and Green Hornet just bankrolled the whole thing. And that's what they do. And so Seth Rogen's character, he can pay for all the gadgets and all the stuff. And he's got this friend that's a badass martial artist, and he does all the fighting. And
it's Batman, except it's two different people.
Well, it's kind of funny because Green Hornet got his start as a guest appearance on the 60s Batman series. And so there's Bruce Lee. I can never remember the name of the guy that played Green Hornet. So it was actually, it was kind of funny because you had Bruce Lee. Most people don't realize that, if you want to see some Bruce Lee action, it's there.
Kronos asks Anti-Tracker, how's the objective-subjective review on Blazing Saddles doing?
We already asked me that, and I answered you that like 20 minutes ago. I know you've been drinking a lot, but come on.
Well, what was the answer?
I said I'm still working with the doctors to get to a point where I can write again.
Oh. Sorry to hear that.
And Shorty needs Adderall. Lots of Adderall.
I don't know what Adderall is.
It's for ADHD.
Oh.
Or meth.
Meth? Is that what you take?
No. I only take the best cocaine.
Okay.
Okay, well.
And they don't consider liquor anything but water where he's from.
Yeah.
That's Russia. That's where Yosef was from.
The time is coming where I got to start calling it in here.
Calling in your prescription for meth?
Calling it a day.
He's
on
calling
the
Uncle
stream.
Polly for some meth.
So we're going to give everybody a couple minutes to say their parting words, and then we'll be ending the stream. I want to thank everybody except Potato Revan, who came up to the stream and stayed and whatnot. But Potato, since you're here, what do you got to say? What's going on?
So next week we'll be live streaming a new Let's Talk. Then after the 19th we'll be doing a Jackbox with Bionic. It's coming onto the channel, so that's fun. So
the 19th.
yeah.
That's half a month away.
I know. Yeah, dude, just her schedule. But so that we've got this new series going on. Let's Talk. I just did one last night. Well, like 2 nights ago on Harry Potter.
That's been 3 nights.
Yes, which has gone down really well. So that's what we're doing.
You have been taking meth, haven't you?
No. Why have you?
It's baby powder, but then he does a Harry Potter spell and turns it into meth.
So yeah, so that's me.
Very, very informative. Thank you. And you want to put your link in the chat?
It's already in there.
Good. Excellent. Positive Candor. And he disappears. Positive Candor, guys. Check out Positive Candor's channel. He's been trying to stream. He's got Family Feud. He's got Wheel of Fortune and some other older games. Unfortunately, I know he tried to stream and it was bad timing. Other people were streaming. I don't think he actually got the stream out. But keep an eye out for Positive Candor, and I try to be there whenever I can. His games have been fun when I could get on his stream. Paula, how are you doing? Anything coming up in your world?
No, not really. I'm gonna try to hang out on the weekends more with you guys, but my work schedule limits me to after work in the evenings or weekends. So
it's awesome, and I'm glad that you joined the panel.
We are.
I'm excited when I can, and I'll keep trying to connect in when it works in my schedule.
Awesome.
Great to hear. And hopefully you enjoy the MCU movies if you're going to take those on.
I'm going to enjoy watching those. Me and the cats.
Overall, they're pretty good. They're a pretty good bunch.
But I know everyone asked a lot. My health is doing pretty good. With everything that's going on, so I'm down over 70 pounds since surgery.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So
that's good.
It's doing what it's supposed to. I feel better than I have in a long time, so things are looking positive.
Resolute Germ put in a link. He's going to be live in 100 minutes for Sci-Fi Sunday.
So that'll be 8 p.m. your time, Bird. 5 p.m. Pacific.
Oh my God, Resolute! I forgot you were on the panel. I'm sorry. I would have waited till it got to your turn. I wanted to say it. I thought you weren't on the panel. Okay, sorry, Paul.
Sci-Fi Sunday.
It's a good question.
Yeah, we're watching an episode of The Orville today. It is Lasting Impressions, season 2, episode 11.
The episode, the time.
The mobile phone, right?
Yeah. Time capsule episode.
Yeah.
It's Tuvok, Tim Rest, guest stars. Good episode. Great episode, actually. I'm sorry, Paula, to have interrupted you.
Oh, you're all right. That sounds fun.
It's something Bird does very well.
It is.
Unlike his accents.
Boy.
That's something I can't really disagree with Potato on.
I still think Ozzy Osbourne, every time someone says that you're going to do Oz of Prey.
Ozzy of Prey, yeah. Oi!
It's just a funny picture in my head.
Just imagine Bird with Ozzy Osbourne's hair.
The only thing I know about Ozzy Osbourne is they used to do the reality show with him or whatever they did as an older man. I never knew him in his prime. So
Yeah, well, you should ask Anti-Trigger. He knew his great grandfather.
no, I'm sure.
Wah, wah, wah.
Random Menace. Any offensive content yet?
No, and I'm doing my streams multiple times a day, but not during the night, only in the bathroom. So those are not public.
You're sleeping through the night completely? No, not a single stream at night?
No.
Wow.
No, he's saying he's streaming every night, but it's private.
No, he said he's not streaming.
Oh.
I thought he said he was streaming from the bathroom.
Yeah, he's streaming from the bathroom during the day.
This is the problem with you being Russian. The Americans don't know what you're saying.
That's just horrible.
But are your streams affecting the outcome of American elections? That's what I think people really want to know.
No, this is definitely not the impact.
That's exactly what a Russian bot would say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
As long as your streams don't have Kroganite, I think you're good.
No. They are Kroganite free.
Yes, but sometimes with a stream, he'll also make a Turtistani.
Mr. CCDV, are you still here?
He's been quiet for a while.
I think he might have fallen
asleep.
Yeah, I think he might have fallen asleep.
No issues.
But anyway, before you go to Anti-Checker and we will listen to him for another 10 minutes, I would like to say thank you very much for having me on the panel.
Yes.
You are
It
very
was
welcome.
very entertaining.
Glad you made it. We're actually going to go to Resolute Germ, even though I skipped to him earlier, but my bad.
Yeah, I'll just repeat my plug for the episode of Orville. They'll be starting at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and hope to see you there. And thanks for having me, Bird.
You are always welcome. And I guess we're good. So, Anti-Tracker. Hey, forgot. Missed you there.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Anything you'd like to say before we go?
Oh, well, just I know that everybody knows already that Kuroga is the evil empire that it is. It's obvious that when Martok said "Hail Kuroga," you could hear it in his voice how sad he was to say it because he didn't want to. But the gusto in his voice when he said "death to Kuroga" was a thing of beauty. So I'll let that stand on its own. But obviously, tomorrow night on Life with Matthew's channel, join us on the virtual pub if you're free. We always have fun there. Bring your own booze. I can't drink because of all the lovely medications I'm on, but I'll still be there. And then Friday night, I'll be making Matthew suffer with some kind of really bad movie. Don't know what yet, but it'll be something to make him suffer because he's taking his time responding to my Skype messages. So I was gonna make him watch something nice this week, but now I'm thinking of hurting him bad. So that's about it. Oh, and I got like 3 doctor's appointments this week.
Any news?
Not really. I mean, I'm seeing a cardiologist on Tuesday, but I'm not expecting anything from that. Follow up with the neurologist and the surgeon, just basically saying, yep, the gallbladder's still gone. It didn't grow back, anything like that. So.
Wouldn't it be a surprise if there was a new one?
Yeah, now that would be something.
Wouldn't it be funny if we said good news and bad news and some confusing news? Good news, your gallbladder's gone. Bad news, it's growing back. Strange news, you're pregnant.
I don't know quite how I would take that, but yeah.
Yay? Why? Huh?
I would just be like, okay, so I need a new doctor.
Well, what if it was? What if you were the first pregnant male?
That's already happened. You can't be.
No, you know what? First of all, I'm going to call complete and utter BS on that because a transgender woman getting pregnant is not the first pregnant male. Because a pre-op transgender female getting pregnant is not the same as a pregnant male.
I got a 30-day suspension on Facebook for replying to a post where it's like first pregnant man in Britain has baby, and I reply woman has baby.
Yeah.
But like, what if it was like literally an immaculate conception?
If it was literally an immaculate conception, that would be different.
You would be accepting of your baby.
Would I be accepting of my baby? I'd be sitting there saying, "Hey guys, guess what? It's second coming's coming through me, everybody!" Woo! So
trip from Enterprise.
The first question is, how's it going to get out of you?
That cesarean section. That would be the answer. I don't want to hear any other answer. No contemplation of any other answer. It would be cesarean section.
But it must be born naturally into this world.
Where the womb is.
Doesn't matter.
A little alien from Aliens out of the guy.
No. Alien could have been taken out cesarean, as we did see in Alien Covenant. You can survive an alien coming out of you cesarean. So, yeah, even if it's an alien baby, I can survive that way. So, based on the lore of the Alien franchise, I'll still survive.
One who's growing in your head.
That's not in the Alien franchise. Just shut up. Hey, Potato Revan, say thing.
Thing.
It took you some effort there. I'm impressed.
It did. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank everybody for listening, watching. A week from today, we will be doing Die Hard with a Vengeance, a very summery movie.
That's a Christmas movie.
No, Die Hard 1 and 2 are Christmas movies. Die Hard 3 takes place in New York City in the middle of summer.
I have never seen a single Die Hard movie.
How could you have never seen a Die Hard movie? It's a great franchise.
Kick him off the panel, or right now.
Goodbye, Potato. Go watch Die Hard and then come back. There's going to be a test next time.
Go watch The Wind That Shakes the Barley or Mrs. Brown's Boys.
I have no idea what you just said.
He's like, go for talking, yes, Joko. Drink in the Holden drink.
Oh, you mean I said, Toto Fayach and Telefish.
See? See, where do you think they got the Klingon language from? They just listened to Potato Revan rambling on for 5 minutes, and they're like, okay, sounds like Klingon to me.
My friends, an Irish friend of mine joined the Discord, and we were talking to our American friends, and they're like, dear God, what are they saying?
They said, "Tear call, what are you singing?"
Oh, I am sorry. Do I have to talk like this for you to understand me?
Go get some fish and chips. And go say
it's not that you're Celtic, it's that you're...
Oi!
Enjoy some
Come on, Bird. Give him
Scottish whiskey.
Give him the full Irish. Come on, Bird.
Oi, Irish O'Brien down here in Cork County. We're the nicest county in all Ireland. It's green.
Apparently
There's
it's Cork,
leprechauns,
Australia.
and there's lots of drunks around, but it's okay. They're looking for the leprechauns. They're living under the
rainbow. Actually, there's no drunks anywhere because all the pubs are closed. So.
Oi, yeah, they took away all our liquor. It's a very sad day in Ireland. We're all going to immigrate to the United States again. Like we did, they took our potatoes away.
I'm sorry, what?
And they took our potatoes away.
No.
You are Potato Revan. You should know your
No,
history.
Don't do that.
They took your potatoes. No potatoes.
Don't do that.
No potatoes for Revan.
It's a very sensitive subject for them.
Oi! Oi!
Okay, with that, the Irishman is gone. I'm leaving as well because it's already Monday for like 31 minutes. So
at least we now know how to get rid of him.
Yes.
Just bring up potatoes.
But Joseph, before you go, do me a favor. Just say, we defeated him with the potatoes from my volcano.
We defeated him with the potatoes from my volcano.
Oh, man. I just love it. All right.
Take care, everybody.
And click that bell icon to get notifications of new videos in your YouTube feed. Share this video on social media to help this channel fight the algorithm that favors big media. Also check out www.birdopray5.com for links to my other channels, various social media accounts, merch store, Dear Bop, affiliate links, and all your Bird O' Prey 5 needs. At the main Bird O' Prey 5 YouTube channel, you can find all sorts of live streams and unlisted videos, YouTube membership options, and a community section with polls and updates on the channel. On the secondary channel, Bird O' Prey 5X, you can find overflow content that doesn't always make the main channel. Subscribe to both channels, please. Thanks for watching. Remember, I stream almost every day. This is Bird O' Prey 5 saying goodbye, world. Until next time. P.S. Hail Sassy, hail Charlie, and of course, hail Karoga.